Good morning! Good morning! I know it's an early stream today, chat, but for those who are rewatching it potentially, we have a jam-packed one, that's why it's early. And I've got a lot of stuff to do later on, but we might be doing a double stream just for today, or tomorrow I might be double streaming just for you guys. So all I'm doing, if you're wondering, is sending out quickly all the notifications, getting everyone in and ready. Here we go, sending them out. I hope everyone is having a good morning. Almost there. Alright, we're good. So, chat, how is everyone? Is the real question. Let's turn down the music a little bit. Mainstream, boom! How you all doing? We are here live. It is Wednesday. It's Wednesday? It's Wednesday, my dudes! Let's go! So, as you can see, quick update before we go into some stuff. You can see we have pushed quite far in our zone. We'll go over a little bit more of this after the podcast. So we have this rolling. And then the choke point's still a choke point for the moment. As you can see, there's just so many keeps to burn through, as well as barricades, flags. It's insanity what you have to do here. So yeah. Also chat, we did post it. I actually caught my first ever legendary pet. First legendary pet. How wild is that? This was, I need to remember the number. 5, 10, 15, 22, 21. Because I did it on the first one of the day. So this was the 21st capture. I got the golden rock, which is kind of really lucky. You can see it's got some decent stats. It's not the stats I want, and it didn't give me the talent skill. So I am gonna get rid of it, but I thought I'd show you guys this before we go into things, right? So, like I said, we have the Scout Report podcast, and we've got a very special guest today. We're gonna have Slongers on there. So what we're gonna do is change up the music, and we're gonna get this show on the road, as you can imagine. So let me just get let me just make sure. So chat, the only thing I need from you guys is if the stream audio is good. I just need to know if the music is nicely in the background, nothing too loud, and you can hear my voice fine. We're going to be able to put slongers in here in a moment, and that's going to allow us again I think that's how I need it. So that should be in the background. Nothing too loud, nothing too crazy. So let's go. I'm just going to quickly mute myself and I will be back.
Yeah. Your music was just a little too quiet if you want people. Yeah. You're good. Sorry, we could. People can hear you live, just so you know, Sneaky. They can hear me too. Yeah, we're both still alive.
That's so weird. I've muted the mic and it's fine. We're here. We're all good, chat. We have to set it up. So let me just pong this.
Work out the kinks.
Yeah, it's one of them things. Everyone knows it's hard work to do it live. So hopefully that's all set up. So you should be able to see yourself. We're both on there. We're all both on. Yeah. You can hear each other. We're all excited. So if anyone's new to the podcast, what it is a pretty cool podcast. You guys can ask any questions live. I'm gonna be checking out the chat, so you can ask them. And then maybe once we've gone through the topic that we might be talking through, or maybe the point of the conversation, I can just lean into one of the topics that you guys might want to talk about later on in the podcast, right? So it's a nice interactive podcast. You can listen, just enjoy the experience here. And this is live, so this will be recorded. This is going to be the third episode, which is really cool for the channel. So I hope everyone is ready. And if you are, Slongers, I'm going to hit the record button and do the intro, my friend.
I'm ready.
Let's do this. Welcome, guys, to another Scout Report. It is episode 3. We had a guest on last time, which was Queen of War. And today, we've got Slongers, a fellow YouTube content creator, which is amazing because we have actually quite a lot in common. We can talk about things to do with Call of Dragons, our journey and stuff like that. So it's going to be a really good podcast, I think, for everyone to maybe get an insight in what we do kind of for a living and, you know, the struggles, because it is hard work as well, right? So
definitely.
So how you doing, Slongers? How you doing, my dude?
Yeah, good. I think for a living is a strong word. Strong way to term that. But yeah, it does take a lot of work to make the videos. Otherwise, I'm doing good. I did my morning routine, went to the gym, did some climbing, trying to stay healthy. And yeah, now popping in with you. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. I love the fact that you do climbing. Do you do is it rock climbing, or is it like climbing in a facility on the walls?
Yeah, I do both. Of course,
okay.
training is in the gym. I do more bouldering than climbing for those that are into the sport. But I do both, and climbing outside is a lot of fun. It's just a lot more time consuming to get out, and you have to go with other people, and it's not good for my lifestyle to be able to train outside. So yeah, I train in the gym, and then when I can, I get outside and go and yeah, on real rock, if you will.
Yeah, man. So obviously some people might not know who you are, right? Because obviously some people might not go around YouTube, right? And check out some of the content. So why not tell people where you're from or what you do? Because I know what you do, right? I know you're a YouTube content creator. I know you do comedy style content, right? But I want you to like give them a little bit of a basic understanding on what you do, right? And then we can take it from there.
Yeah, for sure. So the idea started, I did, a typical opening chess type of content where you just do a live stream of you opening golden chests. That was my first video I made at the end of season 1, I believe it was. And then I really enjoyed that. I started thinking, what can I do that's maybe a little new, something different, bring something, that other people aren't doing. And as I've told you this story before, but I started thinking, what can the big content creators not do? And I kind of fell onto Chisgul. And I was like, well, what can't Chisgul do, or what isn't he doing? Well, he's not doing comedy, and he definitely can't do an impression of himself, because that just would be stupid.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I could do an impression of Chisgul. It's something he definitely can't do. It's funny. So that's kind of where the idea of the first big comedy I did, the Saturday Night Dragons, came from, doing impressions of Chisgul, impressions of Nephisto, and things like that. And it kind of evolved from there. Now I do a variety of content. I do streams. I still try to do the comedies and the parodies mixed in, but I'm trying to do a little bit of everything, since the comedies take a lot more time than some of the other videos. I have to try and mix them in as I go. So that's kind of the very brief overview of how I got into it, how I got started, and kind of how the idea came to be, if you will.
Yeah, no, it's great, honestly, and I love it, and I don't know if you guys have checked him out. Honestly, you will enjoy these like sketches, because it is different, and it's good because and this is what we've talked about this plenty of times, right, off camera and off streams and stuff, where it's like, what can you do that like other people can't do? And that's what I think a lot of maybe people want to get into YouTube don't realize. It's where you have to figure out your own niche, right? And when you figure out that niche, you really do need to lean into it. And I love the fact that you leaned so hard into it now. And obviously you've got to do with the content just to give people the content, but everyone knows you so far from the comedy sketches you do, right? Which is an amazing feat. And I love the fact that, like I said, the Chisgul one makes me crack up every time, because you actually nail that one so hard and spot on. It makes me laugh every single time, honestly.
Yeah, it was over the top. Also, the Chisgul one was a 2-week process, because I don't have a beard typically, or I kind of go in and out. So I had to wait 2 weeks to film the Chisgul thing to kind of grow a beard a little bit. It also makes that character look different than the other characters, because there's only so many different types of glasses and shirts I can put on. So I was like, okay, well, I'll film the Chisgul thing in 2 weeks. When I have a little bit of facial hair.
I love that, honestly. And people don't realize it. That's the funny thing. It's like the weird nuances that you're gonna go through to make the videos, which is amazing, honestly. Like, and it goes through all different content creators, right? And this is the one thing a lot of content creators, or maybe aspiring content creators, might struggle with, where it's like, I've got an idea, but they probably don't know how to execute it, and it's just like. It's just simply just write it out, right? Just write out a plan, like a storyboard. Go from A, B, C, D. Just do something simple, or just A, B, and C, and just like, okay, I need to do A first, and then you start there, then you do your B, then you do your C, right? And then there's the video. You've got it. You've got it covered then. And I think a lot of players or viewers who want to be a content creator don't realize like that is how easy it can be to start off with. But then, as you know, like the amount of time it takes to edit a video, the amount of time it takes to upload the video, thumbnails, tags, description boxes.
I spent like almost 2 hours yesterday on a thumbnail, because I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I just like moving it a millimeter to the right, and I'm like, no, that's off center, and then a middle, no, that doesn't look right. Oh my! Yesterday was a big waste of time, but I got it. I think plus minus how it should look. But yeah, I feel that completely. Sometimes you get in your own way. You sometimes just gotta let it go. Say this is the best I can do, and move on. But Sometimes I go down the rabbit hole and just can't get out.
Yeah, because that's the thing as well, right? Because you can, and a lot of people might think like, you know, just hire an editor or just get
Oh
a
yeah.
thumbnail guy, just do that, right? You're a YouTuber, but people don't realize like at the minute, especially for like a game like Call of Dragons, right? It's a new game, new company. They're on a new creator zone. It's a different approach than they've done for like Rise of Kingdoms. So it is like I'm not say I can't say obviously how much we get paid, but we're not, you know, Tim the Tatman. We're not Asmongold, guys. You know, we're not Ludwig, these big name YouTubers that have got millions of subscribers and make, you know, at least like 10 grand from a video. We don't do that, you know. We make, you know, a reasonable amount of income. For me, it isn't, you know, a lot. It's enough for me to get by on. That's why, for me, I can currently support doing it full time. But for yourself, you know, I know you work a job, right? You work a job and content create, because at the moment it's not on the table. And I think a lot of players and a lot of viewers don't realize like it's a grind. It's a grind mindset, and if you're dedicated to the craft, you know, there is gonna be, hopefully, as we both envision, light at the tunnel.
A payoff.
Yeah.
As I talked about with you, so far Slongers has made a grand total of $0 on content. However, finally getting a little traction, got a couple deals coming in, so there should be a little bit, you know, it's like, you know, getting tipped as a waiter. It's a little bit of something coming in, but as you said, like, it's nothing to, you know, quit your job over. No. But just a little recognition. I see it more as that as anything else. A little something from the developers to kind of show that they're interested in what you're doing. But definitely still working my job for the foreseeable future. That is not going to change. I kind of view it helps me mentally, is I kind of view it as a study, like I'm in college. So like me making the content is an investment. So I'm trying to make this, I'm trying to build something, and over time it should become something better. If I keep improving, I keep growing my channel, in time maybe it'll make some money. But at the moment it's just school, you know. It's trying to learn the process. I try to learn, you know, a new technique in every video, try to learn a new editing style to slowly get better over time. So that kind of helps me mentally in how I go about, or how I view making the content at the moment. This will be a good
question, because I think a lot of maybe viewers who might not want to be a content creator, right? Maybe you want to be an editor, right? And stuff. But the question is, like, how do you learn? Because I know the way I learn how to edit and how I figure out stuff, but I want to see if it's the same as you, because if you've got the same answer, I think it would be funny, because it just shows that anyone has the capability of doing it. It's just you have to have the mindset to do it.
It would be funny. I don't know if we have the same idea, but usually what I do is I know in my head what I want the video to look like. Like, okay, I want, you know, this effect or this pan or this zoom shot. This is what I want it to look like. I don't know how to do it, but that's what I want to do. So let me Google or YouTube or research to how do I do that technique. So then I'll figure out how to do that one technique that I wanted in my head. I wanted to do it, and I know it's possible because you've seen it in other videos. And then I'll do that in the next video. I'll just learn, you know, like one thing, and then I'll use that now in the next video to make it look how I want it, how I envisioned it looking. And that's how I learn little bits at a time, a new technique. How do you go about doing that?
Literally the same. Literally the same. And this is what I was going to touch on. And I don't think people realize this. It's like, you know, I kept my journey, and I've kept all my YouTube videos from the start to now on purpose, because it's one of the things where I can go back maybe 2 years from now where I'm even better than I'm currently am, right? As an editor. And I can just be like, look, this is progress. And I did this the same as you, by just going on YouTube basically and searching for what I need to learn. So if I needed to learn, like, I use, for example, DaVinci Resolve as my like editing program. So if I needed to learn something, I'm searching DaVinci Resolve on what that effect is, and I'm trying to figure it out, you know. And it's one of the things where I think people don't realize, like, honestly, instead of going to a library nowadays to learn, you can just go on YouTube it, like, and Google it. Like, the fact that you can Google in YouTube how to edit, and there's so many videos and, like, you know, even forums that just teach you how to do it for free. It's just about exploring and finding it, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're doing the same, and I think it just shows that anyone, if you have the mindset, could do it. That's what I think. 'Cause if you're willing to learn, you're gonna learn, right? And you have to learn this content creator like job, if you want to say, because it is like something different. It's not even like normal, right? It's not like going to work in a store or even like construction work or engineering work, because a lot of the things you're learning is video editing, but then like even like human behavior, like what do people want, why are people clicking this video more than this video, and it's like such a different way of looking at, I think, life as well as just your job, which is so weird that you have to learn that skill. So it's cool. I find it's interesting, you know, as you can tell, but we both did the same.
Yeah, I love psychology. Was always like one of my favorite subjects in school, because I'm in the medical field, so I had to take psychology. I even took it twice because I had, depending on what country you're in, but basically in America, I had basically a B in psychology, or in Europe, maybe a 5 instead of a 6. And so I retook psychology to get a perfect score. So I took the same thing again, just so that I could have all perfect scores in all my subjects. I took psychology twice. But yeah, I love studying people and figuring out, you know, what people like. I try some things with my thumbnails, you know, try to go over the top, see if people are interested in that. You know, try different things. In a video, you know, in my last video, I got some feedback from somebody the other week, and I played into my new video. He said, you know, like I'm a bit slow at getting to the point, or the way I talk. So I just did a part of the video where I just put myself on like 5 speed and just like sped through the garbage that people maybe wouldn't want to watch anyway, and then kind of made fun of myself in the process. And it made it really good. People loved it. I thought it was hilarious. And you could see that the viewer retention is way higher in that section, you know, where people might be clicking off of your video. Now they're staying on because you're doing something funny or interesting. So I love the analytics, the data, studying people. That's like definitely my bag. I could do that. If I could make a living out of psychology, I would love to do that. But unfortunately, I didn't go down
that route. You kind of semi going down that route now with the thumbnails and technically the titles and stuff. So it's almost there. Obviously not maybe having someone on the couch and, you know, asking them what the problems are. Not that. How
did getting rallied make you feel?
Yeah. Yeah. How does it feel to be 0 today? And they're just
is it a burning feeling?
Yeah, like they're just there, like, I have no resources, I got no troops, I don't know what to do with my life anymore. It's over. You're like,
Yeah. It's like sitting here like with my pen, you know. Interesting.
So
yeah.
I was gonna say, so you know, when obviously you've started this content creator journey, how has it actually been for you as a whole? Like, have you enjoyed the experience? Is it been something that you didn't expect? Like, I know recently some things happened. I don't know if you're happy to announce that and that, but you can, you know, explain it, because I know for myself, I think like the content creator journey's been like, it's been interesting. I think that's been the word for me, because it's like, you know, I expected my channel only to have about 1,000 subs in a year, and somehow I've got 4,000 subs in a year. So it was kind of like, whoa, you know. And then obviously the journey of like meeting other content creators and like bouncing ideas, or just like asking for advice, because obviously like we're new in this space, and there's obviously all the content creators out there that help, right? So I just want to hear, like, how have you thought of your journey so far as a whole? Is it been a positive one, or has it been what you kind of expected, you know?
Yeah, definitely not what I expected. That was clear very quickly. You know, when you go into it, you think, oh, I'm gonna become a professional gamer. You know, I'm gonna game, and that's it. That's content creating, is me playing the game. And then you realize after like your second video or so that, yeah, playing the game, that's the recording part. And then you're done with that pretty quick. And all the other stuff that comes to it is more work than it is gaming. So like if I'm making a video, or you're making a video, or editing, or thumbnails, or working on YouTube, you're not actually playing the game during that time. Like that's a separate aspect. So that was definitely, I don't know if I call it a wake-up call, but like, oh, okay, yeah, content creating is much more than just playing video games. That's not the same thing. So that was surprising to me, so I had to kind of adapt to that and think like, okay, well, is this what I want to do? You know, once you realize that, it's like, okay, well, do I want to make videos? It's not just playing games, it's actually a career path, if you will. It's a job. Do I want to do this? Do I want to invest time into this? And sometimes, yeah, it can be stressful for sure, especially with, you know, my kind of personality where I'm very all in, if you will.
Yeah.
I want to go all in. You know, I got all these ideas. I'm firing on all cylinders, 1,000 things going on. And I think the biggest stress comes when you don't have the time or you don't have the energy to do everything you want to do. So you have all this creative potential and you're like, oh, this would be an amazing video, but I still have to work a full-time job. Me, I still have a family with kids. I have other things in life. I can't do everything I want to do. So how do I, you know, boil this down to using efficient use of your time, which you and I have talked a lot about. Yeah. How can I efficiently make videos, and how to do it at a level where you can do it for a long period of time, you know, looking 6 months, a year, years into the future. How can I sustain this? And for me, I noticed quickly that making videos every day with my current circumstances is just not going to happen. I can't make a video every day because it's not going to be at the quality that I want it to be, and it's not going to be something I'm proud of doing. So let me do what I can and make a good video and enjoy it, and then try to get around the fact that you can't do everything you want. So it's a balancing of feelings, and I'm still working on it myself. Again, balancing my personality, trying to say it's okay to make 2-3 good videos a week. You don't have to make 7 crappy videos a week, and get over the FOMO, as we were talking about before. Yeah. You know, I need to sleep, but it's dragon time. But it's also 2 a.m. and I have to go to work tomorrow. So I can't stream a dragon fight and still function tomorrow at work. Mm-hmm. So you have to find the balance and do what you're going to be proud of for a long time. So that's where I'm kind of at emotionally, and still trying to get a hold of that. And it's a work in progress, and keep trying to make the content, but don't burn yourself out. Also, good life tips.
Yeah, that's it. Honestly, I love that, because a lot of people don't I would say accept it, and it's like actually going through, I wouldn't say 5 stages of grief, but acceptance is one that a lot of people I think struggle with, and I think like you nailed it there. And I love that, the fact that like, look, you have to accept that you have other priorities, or you have other commitments that you have to do. If that's your job, that's your family, it could be anything that you're already doing. You can't just drop everything just to do this, right? But as you said, it's a balancing act, and if you really want to do it, the balancing act is like this weird circus act at first, where you're trying to make sure you're not falling off the tightrope. And like you say, you're hoping by the end of the tightrope journey, when you hit that platform on the other side, that maybe in a year's time or 2 years' time, whenever it hits the milestone, that you've hit it, right? And you don't need to bounce anymore because you're an expert, and maybe you've got to the point where you can quit a job, you can full-time commit into it and actually, you know, experience this type of, I wouldn't say like lifestyle, because it is kind of a lifestyle to go by, but it's a very strange lifestyle. And I think a lot of people just think it is, like you said, just play games, record and put it up, and it's not as simple as that, because it's just like you say, like even for me, I've got to think where it's like, anytime I do an action in game, I need to think, could I be making a video out of this right now?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Exactly.
if I could, then I should be making the video out of it, unless I've already covered it, you know? And that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize, that that's what becomes the game. It doesn't become a game where you're constantly playing and having fun. Maybe like if you're a live streamer, it is a little bit different. But when you're actually content creating for like YouTube and stuff and videos, it's a complete different mindset. It is like entertainment. You are trying to figure out, how can I make this game entertaining for you guys who are listening and watching, and for myself, right? Because like, if I'm not interested in it, why should you be interested in it? Right? It just works both ways. So I need to say, I love what you said there through that content journey. So
yeah, for sure.
What do you think then, honestly, about Call of Dragons? Because obviously I've been playing this game now over a year, and I know you're under a year. So I'd love to hear like your take on it, for someone that, you know, has been playing. You are in a very strong alliance. You can obviously tell everyone about that if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Call of Dragons, right? As a whole.
Obviously, I enjoy it. I think it'd be a shame if we didn't like the game. But I really love playing the game. I love the behemoth aspect, especially coming from an MMO background. I find those fights extremely fun. We're at the Frost Dragon now in Season 2, and it's actually quite hard. And I imagine Elite is going to be extremely difficult. So I enjoy the challenge of that. The PvP aspect is also tons of fun. Love seeing, you know, massive wars. And I think if you're not like us that are doing this to try and make videos and things, if you're just doing the basics, you know, training your troops every day, keeping up with your account, draining your CP, and then logging in for these big events, I think the game is tons of fun. If you're planning on, you know, spending 8 hours on the game every day, you know, you're a hardcore gamer, then I can see you might get a little bored trying to do that. And I know a lot of people in our alliance play other games in addition to this, and that's perfectly fine. This isn't, you know, World of Warcraft. You don't have that amount of content that you can be doing something all the time. There is a point, you know, in the day where you're like, okay, I've kind of done everything I can do at the moment. And that's perfectly fine. I think that's great, you know, for what the game is. There's, of course, the pay to win aspect is definitely real. And I think it puts a little pressure on the players if they want to keep up with their alliance. But also, if you inform yourself and you watch enough content, you can figure out efficient ways of doing that so that you don't have to spend tons of money on the game, and you can still stay in a relatively strong alliance and have fun with it and be in the wars and things like that. So I think the game is great overall. I'd probably give it like a 8 out of 10. And if they just add more content, which they're of course going to be doing, the game is still very young. As long as they keep up with it and keep thinking of new ideas and things to add to the game, I'm sure it'll last just as long as Rise of Kingdom has, and continue to become better. Which we already see improvement in the first, 3-4 months of the game. Graphically, there's more behemoths, there's more things to do, there's more events, there's more heroes. They're always adding things. So as long as they keep down that trajectory, I'm sure this game will last for a long time and hold our attention.
Yeah, I think the same. Because obviously, I get a lot of different, opinions from people, especially like even free-to-play players or low spenders. And they obviously scream, obviously they wish it wasn't as pay-to-win heavy. Some people, and I think that's with every game. But at the same time, like you said, those same players are the ones that watch content, and they always will put in a comment, or even if I jump into a server, right, like 203 for example, like those guys in there literally will just DM me, and these are free-to-play players saying thank you for helping me, because of you we've been able to use the right talent build. This talent build's actually outperforming a spender because he's just he's not as good with mechanics as me, and I love that. And I do hope the game kind of stays in that approach where obviously as a spender, yeah, you're gonna get an advantage. Everyone can admit, you know, that spending gives you advantage because you're able to push forward and obviously get to the end game quicker, right? Because that's what spending is in this game. It's like, it's weird because I don't call it pay to win in this game. I call it like pay to progress, which is like very different. Because if you pay to win, it means like, for example, I could then, I know there's 2 VIP heroes, but in reality they would be like certain artifacts in that shop that only can be bought with money, and that's pay to win. Like, I don't see that. I just see ways of spending money to progress your account quicker, right? Which is sure. Which is vastly different, I think, for the game.
And if you also think even further, because I also saw that question pop up about low spenders, the view of them. Oftentimes, once the season progresses, all the really strong alliances are going to move into the further zones. So you should be able to play the game and be relatively safe in the starting zones 1, 2, even 3 at times. So you'll be able to play the game. You'll be able to do the things you want to do. Keep, like I said earlier, spending your CP, upgrading your buildings, trading your troops. These are free things that everyone can do every day. Make sure your troops are always going. Make sure your research is always moving on. Your buildings are progressing. You're always going to do those things, and then you're going to progress over time. And like you said, pay to progress. At some point, you have T5, whether it took you 1 month or 6 or a year. At some point, everyone gets to T5, and that's kind of the end of the rainbow. Everybody has T5, and the whales are going to have all their heroes maxed out as well. But in a 1v1 battle, me, player B, that took a year to get to T5, and you, player A, that got T5 in a month, we go head-to-head in a 1v1. Well, we both have the same chance of winning that fight. If I made my talent tree better than you did, or I, put the proper legions against yours, I might win that fight, even though I didn't spend hardly any money on the game and you spent tens of thousands. But because I stuck with it and I played over time, now I can match you in a fight. Yeah, you're going to have millions of troops and you can win a war, but I could win a battle, and since I'm a low spender, I probably don't take the game too serious. I'm happy with that. I'm going to be laughing if I'm beating a whale, 1v1. And he had, T5 a year ago, and I spent, $100 on the game, and you spent $50K.
Because that's the one thing. I was gonna say that's the one thing just to add in there and let you carry on. I don't think people realize, when they play this game, it isn't a short game. It's never designed to be a short game. And I think where a lot of maybe new players come into this game have played games where it's all short based. Life spans, or you're playing Fortnite, you're playing RuneScape or stuff like that, where it's
RuneScape,
just instant. You go in and you're instantly able to do everything, right? But even in games like RuneScape, to get to the end game, it's a grind. If you and it's one of those things where I think people look at COD because they see it as a mobile game. It should be a game that is I can pick it up and play it in 5 minutes, right? But it's not the case. Like the way COD is designed, and Rise of Kingdoms or Infinity Kingdoms or any of these games, which are like even like Raid Shadow Legends, even though that's the most heaviest pay to win game I can think of. All of these games are designed for you to play for 1, 2, 3 years, not 1-2 months, because you don't experience the game in 1 to 2 months. You just might have just gotten through the tutorial phase, and you might have played through 10-20 events, and you think, I've gotten through to the end game, and then the true end game appears, and you're like, this is what the game's about. And I think that's what a lot of players don't realize with Call of Dragons. So I do love it, and I'll pass it back over to you, whatever you were saying.
I agree. I just thought of an example of a guy in season 1 who was known, the Baron Zeus. He had T5. I think it was in 2 weeks. He already had T5. Just gemmed everything, maxed it out, and he crushed. Season 1 he crushed, and now we're in season 2. So we did 1+ and 2, and he quit. He quit at the very beginning of OnePlus. Stopped playing the game, sold the account, done. Because if you have T5 in 2 weeks, like,
what
and
are you doing?
there's no war going on, like, you're not logging in to, do your daily stuff. There's no point. There's no buildings to upgrade. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
So he quit, sold the account. As I'm saying, we're seeing it with our whales also this season. The ones that are, 100 million plus power already, they log in for the wars, but that's about it. Because there's just nothing for them to do. There's no point of them to do Crucible to get 2 golden heads, They already have that maxed out. They can just buy 2 golden heads for $5. So they're not even playing the game if there's nothing going on. Whereas a low spender or somebody who is very casually playing, just play the game over time and you'll catch up.
Yeah.
It's just, that's how it is. If you play the game for a year, you're going to make significant progress and you're going to enjoy the process of doing that because it's a game, it's supposed to be fun. Do the Crucible, get your 2 heads and earn it and have fun with it,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree with you because it's just like, it is one of them things. It's like, imagine, this is the way I kind of look at Call of Dragons. It's like, imagine you had 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. And obviously, you have to figure out each puzzle piece. And it might take you 5 hours to do a 1,000 puzzle piece. Who knows, right? But once you put that last piece in and you see what you've done, the satisfaction that you have put in that time and you have done that, and it's same with any game. You can play chess. And even if you've lost or win in chess and the amount of hours you play in chess, like, no matter what, you feel that satisfaction because you have put in the time to, like, dedicate to the craft. And I think that's what you're highlighting there, where T5 players, a lot of the time, rush through really quickly to get T5, which is fine because you do need, obviously, some T5 players. But they don't keep playing. So they've, like, as one of the guys in the comments says, Tien, he can't feel the grind, and a lot of the time, a lot of players love the grind. And it sounds crazy. People are like, nah, I don't want to grind a game. I don't want to play this game for hours on end. I am telling you, you're lying to yourself. Because, like, the amount of times people would grind on Pokemon just to capture the right Pokemon team, or the shiny Pokemon, or you grind on World of Warcraft, like you say.
For a mount.
For a mount. A mount. It doesn't do anything apart from look good, but it has a 0.9% chance of dropping or lower in some scenarios. But you grind that for over a year, and when you get that mount, no one can dispute the feeling of getting that. Like, it's so good. And I think that's what you're touching on. And the thing is with, like, free-to-play players, they at the moment feel like, and I understand it, the frustration of, all these T5 players are T5, but I'm T4, and it's taking me a year or 2 years to grind. Yeah, it is, but, dude, you're enjoying the game compared to them. Like, if you just kind of ignored the T5s and just focused on yourself, you'll realize I'm actually having fun. I'm playing with an alliance and I've made new friends. I'm experiencing these behemoths. The PvP is amazing. Like, you can go through all these positive points that actually make you realize, I'm actually enjoying the game when you take T5 out of the equation, which is really funny, I think, to see, We got a really good question here, which I was going to talk about, and I think it'll be a good topic for us both, because it's like, Erwin asks, do you think the devs have got to work on a way of basically increasing their matchmaking for the seasons, right, to keep an active community? And the thing is, I think this is true, and I think this is happening in the game already, because if you remember in the Q&A, the Q&A did state they're doing seasons 1, 2, and 3 that they know, and during that season 3, we was asked about migration. And they said you could potentially cross to migrate if you've done 3 seasons, right? Yeah. So it looks like they are slowly going into a better matchmaking perspective, because you got to think, Rise of Kingdoms has got matchmaking. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's still got matchmaking, right? So I can tell that they're gonna do it. What do you think? Do you think it's obviously you can tell it's going to come, but what's your thoughts on the current matchmaking system?
Oh, for sure. I think they definitely should improve, but it's very based on your perspective, and it's based on your current season. So, like, if you're having a great season, you think the matchmaking's awesome. If you're having a crappy season, like we are, you think the matchmaking is crap. Um, but you have to have a little bit of understanding, also from the dev standpoint, that they look at overall server power, but they can't look at, okay, well, what alliance is teamed with which alliance on that server, and how's that gonna gel with the other? Like, there's no way they're gonna be able to analyze that completely. So they can do the best they can with matching similar power servers, but depending on how alliances coordinate and align, that's going to determine how the season goes. But this goes back to what we were saying before, which is if you view it as a long-term game, we're having, for example, a very slow season. We had nothing to do until the last zone. The last zone provided about a week of fighting, which was really fun, and now we're kind of, slowing back down. But again, if you're not a high spender, when there's not a lot going on, just work on advancing your troops, building your, leveling up your town, if you will, getting stronger, and then when those fights come, you get to enjoy that. So you see, like, the game as a progress, and there's sometimes going to be a lot going on, and there's sometimes going to be less going on, and you have to be okay with that, and be able to enjoy the game when you can, and then just get stronger when maybe there's not so much going on. But I think the matchmaking will improve. The devs aren't stupid. They want people to keep playing the game. The more people, from a business standpoint, the more people that play the game, the more money the game makes. So if people want better matchmaking, they're definitely going to look into it to keep people interested in the game. So I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, definitely. And it's one of them where, like, you can imagine, I know we're in season 2 and everyone's got their thoughts. You've got to think, guys, this is the first time season 2's been out, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of players keep forgetting the way Call of Dragons currently operates, and especially how Rise of Kingdoms still operates, right? Apart from Rise of Kingdoms has got 5 years on Call of Dragons, right? They're a game that is a continuous development game. So it's like, right now, we've got season 2, and as you guys saw, and we flick in every so often on the map, like, we were saying we didn't have that much fighting going on in season 2, and we're in zone 5, and we had probably a week, 2 weeks worth of fighting, but now we're in this kind of weird boat where you're in a stalemate, no one can move because of one choke point, and it just showcases, like, there is things that they're gonna fix, and I can imagine, and you can probably agree, there's probably gonna be a season 2 plus, because they need to think of, okay, this is the map, this was the map they originally brought in, these were some of the mechanics we introduced in and stuff, like the war pet system, to get it in there so people can experience it for the first time. But then in season 2 plus might be when we refine it. We're going to refine the map so it's not as choke point heavy. We're going to refine that war pet system. We're going to refine some of the broken mechanics, hopefully, in the game.
Rallies.
Yeah, and then go into season 3, and then you'd have season 3 and season 3 plus most likely, just to make sure that's all developed correctly, and then you'll be almost in the same state as Rise of Kingdoms, where if you played this game, instead of having KVK 1, 2, 3 and going to Season of Conquest in Rise of Kingdoms, well, you can have Seasons 1, 2 and 3, and you'll be ready to see what these brand new matchmaking systems are, which I think is very interesting for the game. We've got a good question, or something from TN. As the season progresses, should a dev do something with the lore that 70% of the players ignore? Like, what makes COD different from Rock is COD has lore and each year has their own story, which is true, and this is the one thing I said, right? And my community knows this and that, but I've been working on, like, the lore side of the game and trying to make some lore style videos, because that's really important. That I think TN's touched on, that the lore of this game, I'm just saying, is so goddamn good the more I've been getting involved with it, but the game has a really bad job at showing it. And the beauty of the lore of this game compared to Rock, like Tien's saying here, is basically the fact that you have a fantasy style game, and you've got to think World of Warcraft's a fantasy style game. You can take that story wherever you want to take that story and bring out new races, new factions, new heroes, new whatever you want, depending on what you want to do with the story, right? And I think that is one of the biggest things COD has for it compared to Rock, right? So I wonder what your take is on it, because I know most likely, and I'm not gonna feel any negativity towards it, but I can most likely guarantee you and probably like you said, maybe 80% of the players probably have no clue what the hell the law is in this game. They're just like, what are we fighting about? They don't even know.
You wouldn't be wrong.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. I played Final Fantasy Online, and what they did, because I think the problem with the lore and why people don't take time to watch it is, again, going back to that FOMO. If, a story comes out and you see the rewards at the end of the story, or there's other things you want to do in the game, you just want to get that story done so you can get the rewards and you can move on and progress. And if you don't do that, if you take time and you watch all the cutscenes and you listen to it nice and slow, well, it's going to take you 10 times longer to do the story than somebody else. So you have that, that fear of missing out, that other people are done, they're moving on, and you're still stuck watching the story. And one thing that Final Fantasy Online did was they made it so that you can't skip the story.
Ooh.
So you have to watch the story. You can go make a coffee while the story's running if you want and not watch it, but it's going to take you the same amount of time. So you can watch the story and not worry that somebody else is speeding through it. You can just enjoy it and know that you're not missing out on anything. Now, which camp you're going to sit on that, I'm sure a lot of people will say, hell no, I don't want to waste my time watching a story. But for me, at least, playing Final Fantasy, I loved the story, and it took away that fear of missing out, because I knew that I'm not wasting time, everybody's got to watch the story, it's okay, I can just enjoy it. And I think that maybe people would find they actually enjoy that. At first, you might think, oh, this sucks, and then, okay, well, I have to wait anyway, so I guess I'll listen to the story. And then you figure out, oh, well, it's kind of interesting. Not bad. This is funny.
Yeah. I was going to say, I know Asmongold did the exact same thing. And I love, honestly, Asmongold. He's one of, my favourite YouTubers. And I think if you're an MMO guy, you kind of love him too. And he had the exact same thing as you're saying. It's like, he went into Final Fantasy Online. And he was like, I have to watch this. I have to watch these cutscenes.
And it's so good.
But then after even the first day of playing it, he actually just got involved into the story. Like, you just get sucked in because it's storytelling at the end of the day, and everyone likes a good story. And if you start to get invested into the characters, it means you're going to get more invested into your class and into the game, because you get this kind of association with it, right? So it would be good. I think I kind of would like that. But the only way I think I'd like that, some sort of story, forceful, is if they did the story with a bit more cutscenes. If they added more cutscenes in the game.
CGI, good quality.
Yeah, because the season 1 CGI is perfect, and this season 2 CGI is perfect, right? Yeah. And that's what you guys probably wondering what we're talking about. That's what gets played in the background. That's the season 1 CGI of the game, right? So it's one of them things where you could tell parts of the story, and even say, for example, the flame dragon is opening up. As it unlocks, for the first time, when a person logs into their account for the first time that day, a cutscene just pops up and you have to watch it. And everyone has to do it, And it might be just a really cool cutscene that explains why the flame dragon's awakened properly now. And it gives you that story and that lore that some players want, some players might not want. But I think, like you said, the more you get involved with lore and the more you just like it, you just like the game more. It's a really interesting aspect, I think.
For sure.
So, I don't know how long you want to stay here for, but I was going to say a couple of last topics if you want.
Yeah, what you got?
So, with Call of Dragons, right? What would you say could be the biggest downfall of it? Because a lot of criticism, I kind of done it myself, and I love Meower, another YouTuber. He coined the phrase first, and I will always, if you're watching this, I always give you props up, but he coined the phrase that Call of Dragons currently is having an identity crisis with the fact that everything in that Q&A leaned to more towards like Rise of Kingdoms, and it's like, do you feel that? I don't know if you've ever played Rise of Kingdoms or not, but do
Briefly.
you feel like this game is having a small identity crisis? Like it doesn't know if it wants to be Call of Dragons or if it's trying to just mimic something else. Like, what do you feel on that? And then I'll give you my take after.
Well, I played Rise of Kingdoms for like 2 months a long time ago. So I probably played, a version that's unrecognizable to the current, game. So I don't know if I can completely compare the two experiences. But I do like the, the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And people really like Rise of Kingdoms. So if it's working, and I think, I don't know, I've zero statistical knowledge, but I don't know how many percent of players that are playing this game also played Rise of Kingdoms, but I would imagine it's a pretty high percent that got into this game. So they like Rise of Kingdoms. That's why they started playing this game. So take, the few things that work really well in this game, behemoths and, the fantasy aspect of it, maybe lean into that. But, keep those Rise of Kingdom ideas that already worked. Let's bring those into this game too, because I don't think anybody's going to complain if you bring, the best parts of Rise of Kingdoms into this game, which they have already done under different skins. Roots of War wasn't an original idea. So they're kind of doing it anyway. So if I were them, I wouldn't use that as being scared. Like, oh, we would put this in the game, but we already did that in Rise of Kingdom, so we're not going to. And I don't think they're dumb enough to use that kind of logic. So I would expect things to continue to cross over, but I hope they keep the things that work too. Keep working on the behemoths and that aspect of it, because I think that's something unique. And it's something I personally really enjoy about the game.
Yeah, because it's a weird one, because like I said, I do want them to take some of the best things out of Rock. There's no doubt about it. So like either like you say, the Ark of Osiris, which is Roots of War. Like there's certain events in that game which just can literally just get grabbed and thrown over into this game, even like the Soroli one where you're fighting those 5 unique different like mini bosses to gain equipment. You could do something like that, but for like pet stuff, or maybe in the future to bring out a new artifact mechanic and you can earn it through there or something. Who knows, right? But there's like, obviously, I think a lot of the things people are worried about and the identity crisis is like, maybe removing the season hero resets, keeping artifact levels maxed out instead of resetting them, and all these little things that are Rise
which
of
they're
Kingdom
considering.
Yeah,
as they wrote in the developer
exactly
notes.
And that's the thing I think a lot of the players are worried on, because the thing is, like, I understand and I get it that some people don't want to keep re-leveling up the heroes every single season, but the way the game is designed, it's like it's the fairest way for all players currently, and it might not be the greatest. Look, and it might, and I know it's going to take time, and people might slap me for it, but look, it's one of those things where it's the fairest way to maintain spenders and free-to-play players, because
enjoy the grind.
Yeah, you have to enjoy the grind, and you know what? If you don't enjoy the grind, and I've said this multiple times, maybe this just isn't the game for you, And it's funny because there's other games. There's Rise of Kingdoms. Go and play Rise of Kingdoms. Or Age of Titans. Or Infinity Kingdom. There's actually so many different options for you to play that I don't think this game has to, kind of like bow down and become almost a clone of another game. It can, I think it needs to maintain its almost character, because that's the one thing I hope it does, because like you say, I love the behemoths. I know they shouldn't get rid of the behemoths and stuff like that, because that is one of the best parts of the game. Like, it's fun, it's interactive. I'm not watching a rally a building for 2 minutes, which is what happens in Rise of Kingdoms instead, right? So it's good that they've got these interesting mechanics that I think in Call of Dragons is good, and they should try and keep, personally.
I think one of the best ideas was just in the last notes, which, since we're talking about behemoths, I think that's one of the highlights of this game. And I think the sad part is that so many people can't do behemoths because they're not in a strong alliance. It's like, if you think of the dragon, one alliance does the dragon. That's it. Everybody else doesn't ever get to do the dragon. So the new idea that they floated out there in the last notes was that you have kind of a matchmaking system to do behemoths, so that everyone can experience that. And I think that is absolute genius, and they need to get that in as soon as possible. That is going to get your low spenders and your free to plays interested in the game. Oh, awesome. I'm in a farm alliance, but now I get to experience behemoths. I'm logging in, I'm playing.
Yeah.
And, from a business aspect, those low spenders, I want to do behemoths. I need an archer march for that behemoth. I'm gonna spend today because I really want to beef up for that fight. Whatever your budget is, $5-10. I'm gonna spend it today because I want to, improve my archer march for the behemoths. So everybody can win. I thought that was a great idea from those notes. And I would just tell everybody, be patient. This is a very young game. They're constantly thinking and coming up with ideas. We're getting these developer notes and update notes once, twice a month. They're always thinking of new ways. So just be patient. They're working on it. They want people to play the game.
Yeah, and I love that that behemoth matchmaking. It's such an actual clever idea, and it's cool because it's just like, in theory, the way I think a lot of people have got it in their heads, it's like, I can just queue up and potentially play with you in maybe a Hydra fight.
That would be awesome.
You know what I mean?
Sneaky slongers duoing some bears or something. That is content,
cool.
baby.
Yeah, it'd be cool because it means all the content creators could actually, I could be like, right, guys, on a live stream, we're doing behemoth raids. Everyone jumps into the live stream, and I'm like, right, we're going to queue in 3, 2, 1. If you're in, you're in, and then we'll just like go, and maybe I get 10 or 20 of the viewers in, who knows, right? But it'd be
an awesome idea. Yeah, I'm there, bro.
It's such a good idea and an experience that you could bring if they hit this idea. So I hope it is how we both envisioning it. Because it is one of them things where it's a good step, like you say. It's a great step, because even if he wasn't looking at it like that, right, and he was looking at it as a player, it's like, look, maybe we are going to be fighting the Necro Giant, but obviously that might be a 2100 UTC, for example. Well, I could go into this Raid Behemoth matchmaking system and start practicing all the way up to 2100, and I could actually learn those mechanics. And I don't have to worry about it now, because I don't have to worry if it's going to cost my alliance or not, because it's just a fun match-made event that if we complete, we might get some extra, like just some nice speed-ups or something, which is nice to gain, right? So I actually like that. I completely forgot about that coming back into it.
Love that. Yeah.
So, yeah, man. I think that's going to conclude it, so I don't take you up for your entire day, because I know you have a well-deserved rest.
Yes.
So yeah, I hope you guys in the chat have enjoyed today's podcast. And if you're really listening all the way through on YouTube to the podcast, maybe you've got it in the background, maybe you watch it on a second monitor, maybe you're a baller, who knows. But whether you're watching it, if you ever want to jump in, these are done always live. We try and get guests on, as you can see, or if we're not, it's just going to be me, unfortunately. But I hope you guys Enjoy it, and if you want to, come check out my channel. You can join in the chat. As you've seen, we've had Tien and we've even had Erwin asking questions, and we've been basically even answering stuff just naturally because we've been on the topic, and they might ask us a question like the high spending alliance compared to low spending view. We actually covered that, which was a really good thing, which Erwin actually said, oh, you're talking about, which is great. So I hope you guys enjoy it. This was Scout Report episode 3 with myself, Mr. Steaker, and Slongers. I'm going to actually pass it to you. I'll let you say goodbye, where they can find you, check you out, because honestly, you are one of my favourite YouTubers when it comes to Call of Dragons, the unique content you bring. So I'll pass it over to you, my friend.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I'm really glad to be here. This is a lot of fun. I listen to a lot of podcasts, so I would glad I could finally do one. Thank you. Glad we covered topics of life, good tips for no matter what you do for a living, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just on a more personal level, also gaming level, of course, but just getting to know us a little better. As Sneaky said, you can find me also on YouTube comedies, guides, having fun with it. So would also really appreciate you guys' support. So thank you all. Thanks for having me on, and let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Right, and with that all said, I'll catch you guys in the next Scout Report. There we go. We're done, chat. We're all done. That was the podcast. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Slongers is disappearing. That's why it's just me. So let me just bring us back to this menu. That is being recorded, and as you guys have noticed, we do this, and I try to get these uploaded every Saturday. So if you want to watch that whole episode again, technically you can, the beauty of YouTube streaming, you can go all the way back to this stream, and we started off with that podcast, so you can watch it through, but it will be uploaded on Saturday, and it will just continue our nice Scout Report podcast. I'm glad you guys have enjoyed it. I'm glad to have Slongers on here, and honestly, it was a ton of fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it too, Slongers, and we'll try and get you on again. We'll try and sort out more, because I've got hopefully another YouTuber next week. Hopefully I can try and sort out to bring on, and then more. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. But we're here in game. We are here in game now. So let's turn up the music. Let's get the YouTube live playlist back on. Let's put the hype song on, or one of them. And honestly, let's see what we can do. We have, if we just pull over Zero God of Dragons, we are here in TA still. If you're wondering, TM have recaptured the Frost Dragon. So obviously TA claimed the rewards for it, and they have all of that shebang, but TM control it now to give them 3% extra damage. Hopefully they might be using it later on, who knows, but the choke point is still the same. So what's my take on the Chisgol Alliance drama? Do you know what? I haven't actually watched his video yet, and I was planning on watching it. I don't know if you guys want me to watch it live. I'll watch it live and react to it as we're doing it, and then maybe I'll do a video on it or something, who knows. But I know there's a lot of stuff that's been going on. I know Meower did a video, but Meower got a very angry message from Chisgol, or maybe not an angry message, I don't know, but basically saying that his video was loads of misinformation and was just wrong. So we will maybe have a look. But for us guys in TA, we've pushed one of our enemies out. So they've been pushed out. They're back in Ravuna now. And then we're going to be pushing, I think, eventually. this side as well, most likely to push these ones out. So we should have a safe zone. That's going to be our plan. So you can see here where we were. This is where we started, and you can see we've pushed nicely in, right? So this is just like the last bit that we need to do now, just to cover our bacon, which is good. Also, if you're wondering, I have pretty much completed all of the lore. So I'm gonna start recording the lore videos soon and try and wean the lore videos with like guides and PvP. So hopefully throughout the week you have a nice mixture of different videos to watch. That's the aim. And they will, once I've done it all, it will all be in a playlist. So you can go to the Call of Dragons lore playlist and watch it all, and it's a nice like docu-series style area. So yeah, shall we do it? Should we? Oh, did I just delete? Guys, somehow I just closed down my Call of Dragons. What a muppet. But do you know what? Let's watch the video. I haven't watched it, and it's funny because even Slongers was talking about it, but I never saw it pop up. So should we watch it? Should we give you my take? We'll do our take live. Everyone can take it out of proportion. So let me go to internet. Bish bash bosh. Put this on full.
Believe that I'm going to be talking.
Sweet. So we'll watch this. You guys can obviously voice your opinions as well if you want. You're on screen, so behave, you guys. But I'll give you my opinion on it. We'll see what's going on in Server 32. I know for the longest time there's been a lot of drama going on. I know there's been a lot of stuff happening in Server 32, but I've personally kind of tried to stay quiet because, honestly, you know, I don't really do drama videos. Some people want me to do drama videos, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to get associated into that type of stuff.
I can't.
So let's get into it. We're gonna watch this, and let's see what's going on.
Believe that I'm going to be talking about this yet again, but in yet another season in Call of Dragons, we have been betrayed. And we got betrayed in the absolute worst, most disgusting way possible. It's actually unfathomable how gross this is.
This is going to be interesting.
So
I know the premise, by the way. I know the premise of what's happened here just because I've watched Meow's video, and I'll just show you guys before we get into it. I saw Meow's video, and Meow's video had a comment on
NKNTS leadership. It makes sense to side with NKNTS.
I don't know if it's gonna
meanwhile,
be.
BD had seals. They had to make an alliance with.
Here we go.
AKA
so I know this is how it is, right? Disappointed, missed the reputation of reality, and some serious L takes here. Allies are not babysitters. We insisted trash talking needed to stop. You represent it like we didn't. Don't victim shame. You're blaming us for Seals betrayed and throwing the seasons by attacking Anks. Seals invited Dragon into our starting zone. This is beyond despicable. So this is like what's been going on. I know I've been watching this video and it is a bit weird, and I'm just gonna say this out right now, and if you wanna clip this shit pit to Chisgo, you can. I agree with this stuff what he's doing, and I've tried it myself. So I've insisted in server 2, I've insisted in different areas that there should not be any sort of like, you need to like, you can trash talk, you know, like saying like you're bad at Call of Dragons, but when you start like swearing uncontrollably, you're just getting a bit personal, you're going past the line, right? When you're always going past that line, that's what needs to stop, and people don't realize that. And I've been a big person of it where I get involved in server chat sometimes and have a little bit of fun and troll and talk to people. But I don't or ever like trash talk like some people do. And I know this is a big thing that us content creators have been told we need to stop or help the community like not do. Does that make sense? Like they've asked us in our server chats, if you see toxicity, can you try to stop it? So I can imagine some sort of stuff has happened here. So we'll see what has happened now in the video. So that's just to give you guys a little intro to what's going on. So yeah, server 32 BD, I don't know if it's O or M, I think it's O, which is what Chisgle's in, being betrayed again. And it is a nasty betrayal from what I've heard.
The spins on Frhagar, but I'm also going to tell just an intro to the tale of how we got betrayed this season, because the full story is even more crazy, and I think that's just going to have to happen in a separate video. So let's get started.
And I must admit, I just find it funny as well. Can I just say, Chisgo, your title here is amazing. Just like, we were betrayed again. Also Frhagar will. Like, me and Sluggers were laughing at that. Just the fact that, like, it was so insane, this title, and then this makes it funny at the end. Just like, also, by the way, I'm going to spin the Frhagar wheel just so you guys can have some fun. I actually love that. I don't know if it's anyone else.
Welcome back. I'm Chisco Gaming,
but it's just an amazing title.
The combo is amazing. I slept on Syndrian previously. I got heckled by some bro who had no clue what he was talking about, saying that, what are you talking about recommending Syndrian? You haven't even worked on him. You're such a shill. No, bro. I hadn't worked on him because I made a mistake. And now I've been working on him, and he's damn good.
I'm so glad he
admits
admits
it. I'm not a hypocrite. I maxed my freaking Syndrian, and now we're maxing Frhagar because this combo slaps in the open field.
I'm so glad he's saying that. I'm so glad. He's like, bro, and I told him this. I was like, you need to understand Syndron Frhagar and just Syndron as a champion and Frhagar as a champion are heroes that slap for certain reasons. And he didn't realize in this game, normal attack damage is so big. So I honestly love the fact already in the video, he's addressed his mistake and he's like, do you know what? I effed up. And do you know what? Everyone effs up. It's a new game. People make mistakes. Even the big boy makes the mistake. But
very, very, very good.
We'll
Especially
see.
if your opponent dare walk around with some mages. They are done for. So I am 90 tokens away from maxing Frhagar. And I could have done this with universals, but remember how seasons work. You get 2 cycles of a commander or hero, and then 2 cycles of some other hero. So for us in the Icebound Oath, we had 2 cycles of Ferondil and Theodore.
Yeah.
And now in the tail end of the season, we have 2 cycles
of Syndrian
with Frhagar, and this is the 2nd cycle with Frhagar.
Oh, by the way, chat, I just want to let you know, when I go back into game, there's a really big time, because whatever the time is currently in my server is the day Theodore enters the daily deals. So I'll show that as well. Just
gonna go spin the wheel and max her out.
Because he does touch on, like, that's a really good point, how the
anytime
there's
a betrayal video, it requires really a lengthy explanation. But the simple explanation is going to be so mind-blowing to you. You're not going to be able to fathom that humans actually made these choices. I mean, you will. It happened, but
the thing is,
it's actually
I'm
astonishing.
just gonna say
so
as well,
start to spin.
when he goes into this, I just want to say as well, I'm not saying whatever has happened is good. I'm not saying that, but I think everyone in chat will agree when I say this. When you play Call of Dragons, or if you play, Rise of Kingdoms, or city building games, even State of Survival, and all these other different games in this genre, the amount of politics and scummy backstabbing moves that happen should not be a surprise. I don't know if it's just because in Rock, he's played Rock for so many years now, and obviously Rock has been such an old game that it's allowed, you know, each alliance to have its own server, so they don't have to worry about this type of stuff. But because this is such a new game again, this is basically what happened in, like, Rise of Civilizations, as it was called. A lot of internal drama, backstabbing happened, right? So I'm not vouching for it. I just think it is part of the game, and it is kind of your jobs to make sure it doesn't happen to you. So it is hard, and I'm not gonna lie, it is scummy when it happens. I'm just gonna say it's scummy when it happens.
In here, and I will tell the tale.
So let's hear the tale.
That really screwed us.
Come on,
in the
packages.
absolute worst possible way. The most disgusting betrayal I can possibly fathom. And like, that's strong language. You may be like, bro, do you need to chill? Because, like, chill. Let me explain. Can you imagine that you are allied with two groups of people, okay?
I know who it involves as well.
The leaders of one group name calls the other in global chat. Well, that's obviously not okay. All right? So we should have a conversation about the name calling in global chat. That's not cool. And in the time that I went to bed, this name calling had happened. And when I woke up, the group that had been called some names in Belleron chat, in global chat, had flipped sides, turned into a full-blown 100% traitor, and were inviting the enemies into our starting zone.
Yeah.
I want you to understand.
I know that's what was happening. And I know, I'm not going to lie, I want to hear both sides at some point. I might make a video on it. But I know from one of the people who is, I think, involved in it, I'm kind of upset because I kind of liked him as a Cav player. But this is, like, what happens, like, in Call of Dragons. I'm just saying, like, if you are not paying attention, or, I don't know, if you're not doing the diplomatic talks right, I don't know what actually has happened in between this, obviously. But, like, this is what happens. Like, if you mess up and your ally thinks you're not an actual ally anymore, yeah, this definitely could happen. And it's because you got to think, like, when your allies, you're already in the same zone, so your enemies can just technically just join that alliance now if you're in, like, zone 2, especially 3 or 4 in season 2. So it is wild.
How disgusting that is. So in a 7-hour window, not even, like, in the 6.5 hours of sleep I got, somewhere in the middle of the night, there was a name calling.
The thing is, I feel for him because this happened almost to me in Server 4. I don't really talk about Server 4 much anymore because, honestly, like, even though I came from there, I just dislike what happened. And, like, if I explained what happened, and I even have some very old chats at that time which back up my story and explains it.
That a group will be like, why, yes, a little bit of name calling justifies throwing away 2.5 seasons worth of knowing some people and being their allies in order to what? They literally insisted and demanded that we hand over the person who had done the name calling. And it's like, guys, you didn't even give us 7 hours to wake up and learn there was a problem and remedy it. Instead of literally giving us any opportunity whatsoever to remedy this issue, you threw away the whole season. It's so mental. It's honestly hard to understand.
I can tell this is touched buttons because it is true, especially for, like, BDO, right? Because BDO's had this ally, and it's the fact that, like, you know, you've been working together so hard, and surely you must trust each other. So why would you just flip over 7 hours? And you should know that, like, your alliance leader or your allies officer team will be asleep because it's, like, downtime, right? So it's interesting
how
to see
they justify them to themselves that this is.
And I've said this as well before we go back into the video. I've said this so many times since server 32 was created. I said, don't join it. It's going to be a crazy server, and there's going to be too much drama involved. And I wasn't even saying good drama. I warned that all this would happen, right? And then it obviously happened the first season. Then before the season occurred, guys, a lot of players from server 32 migrated out. You need to know that. That is a very important thing. Like, certain leadership, certain people that was actually key in BDO at the start of its existence had left. And that's because they didn't like the way, the direction of certain leadership and council players were. And that's fine. If you don't agree with something, obviously you shouldn't be a part of it. So that's what they did. They've left server 32 and they joined a different server, which is fine. And I think even Chisgo will be like, that's fine. If you've got a different view on how the game or an alliance should be run, go ahead, you know, and I think that's fine, right? So you need to understand that's another stress factor in this situation as well, because BDO and BDM have gotten smaller, and the fact that now as well they've got allies, and they thought they had these allies, and these allies have basically backstabbed them again because of what I think. If it is just name calling, if you've switched sides because of name calling, I kind of find that insane. You know, I think you need to grow a pair, you know, but...
Okay. But not only did they
keep
throw
going
away
on,
the
chat.
season, they literally invited our sort of mortal enemies into our starting zone and put us on a 24-hour clock to clear out all the territory belonging to that alliance from our starting zone so that they couldn't teleport into our starting zone and give us literally no safe haven for the next, like, 40 days. I mean, we literally tried to talk to them, say, like, guys, you know, we understand you have a grievance here, and we're not undermining or diminishing that grievance in any way, but could we ask you, out of the
just respect,
out of the
just out of
the
just
last
pure
2.5
respect
months we've been playing together as
Yeah.
allies, could we ask you to just do us the respect
Yeah.
of not inviting them into the starting zone? And no, they couldn't. Now, it's quite complicated why they couldn't, because this is an alliance that's run with a voting system, and so the one player felt like
interesting.
it was
So
actually
their alliance is a democratic alliance, meaning if there's, I don't know, I'm just assuming, but imagine there's 10, 15 guys all on the table and they all vote, shall we do it, shall we not, because they're like the biggest spenders. That obviously impacts you know, whatever they do decision wise impacts them as well as the alliance. Is interesting. Or is it a full alliance voting system? You know, so that's interesting. That's actually interesting, because obviously, like, TA, TM, BDO, as Chisgo's alliance is, I'm pretty certain, runs on, I wouldn't say a democratic way, but I forgot what it is, what you call it, because it's not even tyranny where only one person runs it, but it's like, there's a main guy, and then that main guy has passed, like, you know, to his officers different job roles, and they do their job roles to maintain order and to maintain the alliance, you know, working like a well-oiled machine. And yeah, you know, when it comes to certain things, say like war or taking behemoths and stuff, certain players discuss those certain things, you know, which is, I guess, it's how I do it and how these guys do it, you know. So I can feel this. I actually feel this as well. And the thing is, like, and this is the difference between, I think, already, if I were going to compare the two, the Meow video to his video. Because Meow's video, for some reason, is just this big fucking text document with stuff in, which is interesting, and I like that he's done this, but I feel like the way he's written this out for everyone is literally his script on the story, and not try to give it, I don't know, like a fair representation, which is different. And you can tell, like, when he speaks, for example,
was to give support and push the other alliances to the north. NCS, having merged with BD, was responsible.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no emotion there where you can feel Chisgo's emotion. Is that something that people should play into or accept, that his emotions true in this scenario? I'm not saying, you know, yes or no, but the difference is you can tell what's happened here is big. It's not like a small thing.
Quite disgusting what was going on, but he was outvoted, and so they continued on being traitors. And
let me just go back
voting
just so
now,
we don't mess up.
It's quite complicated why they couldn't, because this is an alliance that's run with a voting system. And so The one player felt like it was actually quite disgusting what was going on, but he was outvoted, and so they continued on being
I wonder
traitors.
who that
and
was.
At the end of the day, I think the design of this game really needs a little bit of attention with regard to the betrayal meta, because given the choice of being...
It's weird, though, he says the betrayal meta. I don't like that. I'm just going to let him carry cook. I'll let him cook, but I don't like how he says that.
Because given the choice of being a winner but a traitor and being a loser that is loyal, some number of people that are in leadership positions will look at the situation and go, I mean, we could just be winners and be traitors. And that's basically, well, I don't know, maybe their motivation was that the comment in Belleron was just so offensive that they couldn't handle it. But I just find it so astonishing.
This is interesting. So I'll let him cook a little bit longer, and we'll go back to when he's talking about
attention with regard to end of the day. I think the design of this game really needs a little bit of attention with regard to the betrayal meta.
This is not... I don't care what... I'm just going to say this straight out. This is... I hate this statement. The betrayal meta? What does that even mean? That's not a meta. I'm not going to lie. I think Server 32 is the one server that has had the most amount of betrayals at the largest scale compared to any of the other servers. Like, Server 1, 2, 3, and 4 had one betrayal. One. And the thing is, the guys who got blamed for that betrayal didn't even do the betraying. That was the crazy thing, right? So it's like, it's such a weird concept, because if you go, like, let's go into game right now. If I just jump into game right now, let me just like boot it up, right? We're in game. Like, I can guarantee you, and I know, like, server 203, there's no such thing as a betrayal meta. There's no such thing. In any of these other servers, that's a normal server. This is not true. I have never heard of this being a talking point in any other server but server 32. So the problem that I have with that statement, and I get where he's coming from, because Chisgall has only experienced it in his server. So you've got to think, from his point of view, he's like, bro, this game's all about betraying all the time. But that's because of the server he is in. And he should have known this type of server was going to exist because of how it was built. Right? I don't know if that's just me who thinks like that, or maybe that's an L take. Maybe you guys in chat can let me know. But I'm just saying, like, that phrase is, like, just so untrue. It's unfortunate that Chisgall has experienced a double betrayal. It's like, it's upsetting that he has an alliance that they thought they had loyal allies, and both seasons they have had a betrayal. That is honestly upsetting. It's not nice. Obviously, because you've worked hard, you've committed your own time, you've created relationships and friendships with those guys, and it's just burnt like that, right? I get it. I understand it. But I just don't think that is the way of calling it, because it's not a betrayal meta. If the betrayal meta was true, you would see constantly in every single season. For example, my season, you would see TA and TM right now should be getting betrayed by GNA and GNR, because those are our allies since the beginning of the season. And those guys have positional correction, and in TMO2 have positional correction that can destroy us. But you don't see that, because it's just such a weird way of looking at the game. Like, I don't think any other server is going through what this server is going through. And that's what I've always said from the start. And I hope anyone who watches my content, who's watching the live stream, who may be watching this right now, right, understands that. Because what happens in server 32 is honestly a unique case. That is a unique, one-of-a-kind server that doesn't exist anywhere else. I'm just telling you straight facts. because it's such a high spender account server. It has servers from Rise of Kingdoms big Chinese alliances and Rise of Kingdoms American alliances have come over into server 32. So you can tell, like, this is made like the Premier League. It's just the fact that his choice and the way their allies have probably gone through this is it's their choice. And he's on the wrong end of it again, right? And obviously, for me, I feel for him because obviously he just wants to enjoy the game. But he can't enjoy the game if every single time he has to look over his back. I get that. But this is where I have said numerous times to anyone in server 32 and anyone in my chat, I've said it. People should be leaving server 32. Just leave. Like, you could have left last season. I know there's certain players, and I don't want to mention them names because they've asked me to keep that private, that have left that server. And there's so many of them because they knew this type of stuff could occur again. And why would you allow that opportunity to occur again when you can just leave? You could just leave, honestly, and just start in a new server. And you can try and build a new friendship up. And if you don't, maybe find another server that's like just empty. Guess what? You got a new beginning. So it's so weird on how it is. Like, I'm only 5 minutes into this video. I definitely should be the next Asmongold. I can make a 1 hour reaction video.
Given the choice of being
so let's see what he's saying.
A winner, but a traitor, and being a loser that is loyal, some number of people that are in leadership positions will look at the situation and go, I mean, we could just be winners and be traitors. And that's basically...
I should have recorded this, to be fair. I haven't, but I might just download the
stream
stream later and
was
cut it up and
comment in
upload it.
Belleron was just so offensive that they couldn't handle it. But I just find it so astonishing that they literally couldn't give us any time at all.
I agree with both of these points.
Like they didn't give us... not even...
Like, I'm just saying, if you are watching this right now, and you switch sides because someone in Belleron chat called you trash, or you're not doing anything, you're a farmer and stuff like that. If you switch sides because of someone talking, just BS in world chat, you should not be in leadership. I'm just saying, I just don't think you should be in leadership. Why? Because leadership is about grown people communicating and trying to find common mutual respect on common ground. That's what leadership is. And if you can't do that, why are you in leadership? Like, that's just my point, right? So I agree with what he's saying here. Yeah, like, it's unfathomable of just to switch sides because of that. It's like, I don't want to say it, and I know people might get upset that I'm going to say it anyway, but it's just, look, you are basically, as they call it nowadays, you're just acting as a snowflake, right? You're just acting as a snowflake, as they say. You have no backbone just to take criticism. And I'm not going to lie, I, on a daily basis, take criticism. And I know Chisgul does, on a daily basis. The amount of trash I get on YouTube comments where people just say random, just stupid stuff. People in world chat saying stupid stuff. People in Discord randomly might send me a random... I haven't had that often. I've had it once. But there's just so many random, just T4 players that have no knowledge on anything that are just throwing in their 5 cents. They've got their big bucket. They've got their bucket of 2p's. They're shaking it up. They're in Blackpool, and they're putting their 2p's in that coin dozer, and that's all they're doing. They're putting their 2p's in the coin dozer, hoping one of these 2p's lands, knocks out, and hits a jackpot, which makes you get tilted. Which clearly it has happened for this alliance, which is insane. I find insane. And you gotta remember, guys, I'm only reacting to this video, right? I'm not saying I know what has happened in and out. I have not got the private messages to back up anything. But I can still have an opinion on what is going on in just a generalization sense, right? Which I think all of you understand. And I think as you guys see in chat saying facts and true, you understand where I'm coming from, right?
Not even an ounce of respect and opportunity.
So I agree with what he's saying.
So just to be super clear, someone not from
and you can tell he's getting emotional, and I don't want to be that guy, because I'm the same. I'm not going to lie, when I get emotional, I get the same, because if you look at his eyes are directly at you, and you can see the shine, meaning they're slightly watered, meaning like, you are holding back from exploding. Literally. That's how I feel like he is right now, and that's, honestly, for Chisgo to do this type of video and stay composed, if you want to say it, and not explode is like a W. It's a W for him, right?
That we were allied with, and so the one
and you can see
that.
I
mean, they
right?
the whole season. They literally.
Is it just me who sees that?
And you know the thing that's so crazy, is that like not only could this have been solved easily within a 24-hour window, we could have talked about a solution, right? They sort of accuse us.
He's literally just trying to stay, and like, no, now this is it, right? He's got the rationale. He's like rationalizing it now. That's what he's doing. He's rationalizing it now. Like, you could tell all of this bit, he's fucking high rated. I'd be high rated, but now he knows he's high rated, and he's if you've noticed, he's changed his tone, he's changed his like the way he's talking, and he's brought himself from here to like down here. He's like calming himself down, right?
Could this have been solved easily?
See, you know what I'm saying?
A 24-hour window, we could have talked about a solution, right?
And now he's here.
They sort of accuse us as if we weren't going to do anything. Like, no, I literally had a conversation with the dude who made the comment, and I was like, hey, man, like, you know, as one leader to another, you really can't do that. And he's like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And like, okay, like we could, like, it was so solvable. So anyways,
I can tell his frustration. His frustration is just like how stupid and basic this problem was, and like you can tell. And I'm the same, because I had this exact same situation in server 4, and like I said, maybe I do a video on it, and you guys, I might get a load of hate from the server 4 guys for saying it. Do you know what? I couldn't give 2 Fs, right? I don't care what people think, right? Because I know at the end of the day, I make good content. I make you guys entertained. I educate you guys, and that's what my job is. My job is to educate you on Call of Dragons, bring you entertainment, and just tell you facts, right? Like, I could tell you, in Server 4, I've been in something very similar to this. But, instead of being in the betrayal, I turned sides, because the side that I turned to was the ones that were going to get betrayed. Does that make sense? That's just like a little gist of it. So like the alliance I was in and the server I was in were planning on some sort of betrayal. I heard of it. I got told about it. I did not like what I was hearing, and how it was like almost like a childish game, how it was being like thrown around in chat. And I left, and that's when I joined TM and TA. That just like gives you a nice little basic rundown of my situation, right? So I understand what he's doing, what he's going through. Because if it were me and I heard, for example, if I was in this other alliance and they were gonna break off, I would have joined the video, and I would have been considered you know, a leaver, a betrayer from my server, because I didn't agree with how they were running things. You know what I'm saying? So
like the
it's interesting
that led up to the incident, that led to the name calling, that sort of
I
led
just
to this
find
whole
it
thing.
wild.
But
it's a name calling situation that started
in the final Dragon Zone.
It's not even like someone got 0.
I mean, we did this last season,
and you
we know how to set up a defense.
You know, someone stole a behemoth that shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? It's like not a super serious matter. You know, it's literally world chat.
Needed to happen.
It's wild.
Is for everybody to just be chill for the remainder of the season and like not bicker. And I can't believe.
Yeah, really good point there. An alliance with no trust
not a
with others is no better with the alliance itself. That
for
is
betraying
so
the way
true.
that they did. I think it's just so beyond unacceptable, right?
Like I say,
And
I
it's
might.
one
Do you
thing
know
when,
what?
like,
I might
you
just
betray
spill it.
and
Maybe
you're
I
an
just tell you
individual
guys it, and maybe you guys
you aren't
want me to make a
screwing
video on
over
it
literally
later
everyone
on.
else.
I
Like,
might.
that's still kind of disgusting.
But I'll tell you
like,
about my betrayal
people
after
do
if you
that.
want.
But to
And I'll
to
show you some
betray in a
stuff.
way
I'll
that you
actually show
literally
you some stuff.
threaten for the sort of mortal enemy betrayers from previous seasons to be able to enter into our starting zone and give us no quarter for over a month. I just think that is really despicable. It's so vile I can't even begin, because like this game should have a safe place, but it doesn't. So your only safe place is your starting zone. And so anyways, this group, Seals, now named MILF, has apparently done a fair amount of betrayal in the past, I am told. But like, they're going to get really pissy about the fact that I said that. So I don't know what I can say or not say. This group is very temperamental. It's very difficult to I don't know, man. So it's hard to even talk about on the fly like I'm doing now without collecting my thoughts, because I invested so many thousands as a team. We invested so many thousands of hours into them, and I personally invested so many hundreds of hours where I should have been making videos, and I spent literally days negotiating with allies on their behalf. I spent astonishing amounts of time that many of them will never know, trying to make their situation better. When they couldn't take the Hydra, when they couldn't take the Necro Giant, I brought players into their alliance to make sure we could get them for them so that they would have them in the final zone to fight with. I mean, we really went the distance. And like, you may be thinking, okay, so wait, so why is this such a big deal that they betrayed if they couldn't take their Hydra and they couldn't take their Necro Giant? Well, they have like, I don't know, 13 to 20 tier 5 players. And they had, I don't know what the exact number is, but like maybe an upwards of like 50% of it.
It's weird. I don't want to be that guy, but do you reckon this is what I feel is now the issue? I feel this is the issue, right? So I feel like the betrayal bit's obviously he's annoyed with the betrayal, but I feel this is where the honesty is. I think he's more worried that the fact that now the enemies that obviously hate BDO, BDM, technically have 15 to 20 or 10 to 20 extra T5 players than they do. And obviously those T5 players was keeping the bounce almost of the BDO, BDM against the Dragon family. So it is interesting.
They had, I don't know what the exact number is, but like maybe an upwards of like 50% of the tier 5s on our side were in this group.
Yeah.
Right?
So
and they sort of
over
pitched themselves
50%?
as this like elite, super skilled, elite group that like, yeah, they are skilled. Like no one's questioning that, but also they betrayed. And, the fallout of this has been really crazy because there's a bunch of sort of conscientious objectors who are like, hey, this is disgusting. I'm not even going to participate. My team is making me choose between my morality and my friends. This is gross.
This is
and
what
so they aren't even.
It is gross. I will agree with that, and that's what I was saying about. This is what happened with Server 4. Like it is just wrong.
A whole bunch of people came back to the Blood family from this group, and were like, yeah, I think what they've done is wrong, and I don't want to be a part of it. And then some number of people are like, we're traitors, but now we're winners. And so, okay, like that's what they felt like they had to do for themselves. And again, like, I think it's easy for them, and I know this because I talked to some of them, to like distract from the real core of all of this. But if you get down to it, what happened? In their insanely impulsive reaction, they reacted to a comment in Belleron chat through the whole season, screwed over literally everyone.
Yeah, I like what Michael says. It's true.
In the maximum possible damage and way. And I just think that it was so astonishingly preventable. It's just,
like they would probably try to figure out a way, an excuse to betray. So that's
I
the
have
way
30 more sculptures that I need. So 15 are guaranteed. So I need 15 more. I don't want to overspend. Let's find out. I don't think I will overspend. In fact, I may end up spending some gems here. So
just
I'm
go
going
to
to give the whole
100
backstory around this situation, because I
go
actually
to
think it's just
100.
going to be
You don't need to go
really
above.
like get out your popcorn and
Like
and
you've
people are
got
just
11 sculptures there.
I mean, I think it's just going to be entertaining. Wow, I am going to go over on tokens for sure. which is a little annoying, but like I guess that's a luxurious problem.
You're just
at the
gonna
end of the
go, bro,
day.
it's fine.
Let's see. If I get 3 more tokens, I go over. There's 1.
It's fine.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, we're good. We're good. We're
Cheers,
good.
go. It's fine,
It
my
needs to
dude.
be universals. Okay,
You just
let's
span a
go,
wheel
let's go.
100 times. It's
weird that
fine.
I don't want Rhaegar tokens right now.
The speed ups and
Anything but
resources you got.
Rhaegar?
It's cool.
Let's freaking go.
He's actually
Okay,
got
so
it.
2 more Fraygars and I go over, so we could be okay because we get the
Yeah.
guaranteed 15 over here.
He's right.
All right.
He's right.
Come on, baby.
Maximizing his money.
Come
Like,
on.
what he's saying.
Oh no! One
You can't
more
get
Rhaegar.
one more.
GG. I'm definitely going over on Freygar tokens, right? It has to be the case. Has to be the case. So, you know, I recognize that like I'm talking about this betrayal in a sort of disorganized way, but it's really quite simple when you get down to the base element of it. You know, a reaction to a.
I
comment
know
from
he's probably
Bella
gonna
on
do
chat
another
that threw
video,
away
I
2.5
can
months of
imagine.
camaraderie.
She's going to do
Couldn't even
another
afford-
video on it where he brings up more screenshots and like the info, which is going to be good.
Us more than 7 hours. Literally, we were asleep, and by the time we woke up, they had ruined the whole thing. And it's just mind blowing, right? And it's just really easy to understand that, like, in no world is that behavior okay to betray in that way. So I'm definitely about to go over in sculptures if I haven't already, but I might be Exaxes, which would actually be insane. Please, please be Exaxes, please. Oh, dude, this could be good. Woo! Exaxes? Yo, did we do it?
I think you did,
Did we
my
do
dude.
it? No. I need to. Yes, we did.
You did.
I need to claim my 15,
Claim it, you
and
noob.
We're good.
Claim
we got
it.
There.
There we
We got
go.
there, right? And you know, so there's a bunch
There
of
we
ways to look
go.
at this betrayal, by the way, and
He's
you know,
got it.
like I said, I'm going to talk about this more in another video. But like, it's funny that
I'm
this other
surprised he
group,
actually
like, accepted
expertise
them.
though.
Like, let me explain. We're in a new season with a group MF that really claimed to value fair fights and even fights throughout the entire season. So you would think they would be extremely frustrated as well with the SEALs' betrayal, because they've basically denied them the fights that they would have gotten for the remainder of the season, because, like, I don't know how we're going to defend against all of them, quite frankly. We're outnumbered. Like, maybe we can hold Zone 2, maybe, but assuredly there would have been more fights, higher quality fights, if they hadn't betrayed. So even MF, based on what they said at the start of the season, I don't know how true this is, given that they're literally participating in the sort of craziness of all this right now. I don't know if they actually care about fair fights, but if they really do, which they said they do, they should be furious with the SEALs, because they ruined the fair fight they would have got for the rest of the season. So now their win is just sort of has an asterisk on it, like, yeah, I mean, they were winning, and, like, it's extremely unlikely we would have been able to attack their defensive position around the dragon. Totally true. And no one can take that from them. But the rest of it, SEALs took from them. They took from them the glory of having done it themselves. A betrayal is what really flipped it over. Now we'll never know. So, I don't know, man. It's been really, really crazy. That's for sure. I'm going to have to make a whole video about this. But I am
no,
super
Seal
hyped to have
changed
my
it
Freygar
now.
maxed. So there's that good news. So if you want to see the betrayal video, consider subscribing. It is funny.
Does he still
that,
talk about it?
You know,
It sounds
the
like he
group
was
that
going to
they
close
joined
off there, but he's still.
is the sort of sworn enemies, the Dragon family that betrayed us in the previous season. And it's really amazing to me that the SEALs found a way to betray in a way that is even worse than what Dragon Fam did. Because, like, it's one thing when you betray your agreement, but it's quite another to, like, be in the same starting zone and then invite people in to zero everybody. Like,
Yeah.
that's a level of disgusting that's not okay.
It's
and
madness.
We asked them multiple times,
That
just like,
because
"Hey,
what
we
he's talking
understand."
about there is savage. It is absolute. It's fine. I think he wouldn't be bothered if. Obviously, it'd bother him, but I don't think he'd be as bothered if Seal just switched sides and that was it. But the fact that Seal have literally, like, gone into game, and you've got to think, like, imagine us now in TA and TM. If we was able to, like, join into Scalera, which is where Howl and RKO's main bases are. Imagine if we was able to just infiltrate into here. they'd be done. There's no way you beat us because we just literally have like snuck in behind you, and we're just gonna kill you from behind and in front. So you get literally sandwiched. So like, it is savage. I don't agree with what's gone on, but from what it sounds like, if you are willing to let them join your alliance in Zone 1 to 0 Cs, like he's saying in the video, from the comments that you guys have said, I agree. It seems like these guys must have had some sort of idea of betrayal. There's no way you go this, like, you go from 0 to 100 this quickly. There's no way. There has to be other reasonings behind it. Either you were planning at the start of the season that you didn't want to play with them, or betray them, or something. There has to be something. Because the way, you've got to think for like, normally you put in so much energy and you get a certain amount of output, right? It's like an equal amount of output, like in the world, right? But the amount of like energy that's come out of this little thing, what should have happened, like for some reason just skyrocketed. It shouldn't have got to where it's got to, right? So
you want to do this civil war?
It's a weird one.
Not invite them in the starting zone, and they're like, no, we're bringing them in. And they even said, we think you're going to win the starting zone anyways, which we did, by the way.
Let me switch back to the internet.
Almost entirely the starting zone. There's still a few loose ends we need to deal with over here. But, you know, I said, hey, if you think we're going to win the starting zone anyways, like, why don't you just delete your fort, delete your flags, we won't zero anybody, and, like, show a gesture of goodwill to all the innocent people that would get zeroed and spend 45 days running for their lives if your plan to allow the enemies into our starting zone were to go through. And they were like, nah, we're just going to keep defending. So I just think that the number of opportunities they had to...
Bro, their map position looks horrible. I've only just realised, look how bad that looks. BDO have only that territory. That's insane. Look how much territory they have compared to like everyone else.
Make things right and then chose not to is just really, I think, indicative.
Oh no, they've got some more at the bottom. All right, no, we're fine. We're fine, chat.
Behavior, right? And you know, I saw some really L takes on other places where people were like sort of victim shaming us for not being, yeah, how dare you not be more involved in the mediation? And like, bro, we were literally,
I'm guessing this is at Meow
when this happened, and woke up and the season was ruined. So like, we were not even given a chance to mediate, and I have all the evidence that we were in fact mediating despite the claims that we weren't. So blah blah blah. Full video will be coming soon. If you want to see the video where Dragon Fan betrayed us, who now these guys are in bed with, card will be in the end screen. As well. And
oh, he does make me laugh.
Suggestions that I think will dramatically change, in my opinion, for the better, the way that the game would work towards this betrayal meta, because I don't think it's healthy for the sort of choice to be.
Yeah, I don't like the term. I don't like this coin term he's creating. This betrayal meta, because I don't think it's real. It's happening in his server because of his server. It's not happening anywhere else. I refuse to believe it. There's no way on this scale. There's no way. Like, especially on like the way this has been going on. Like, but like I said, I knew he had it. I knew he had those stuff, and like he says, he's gonna put them up in another video. So we will have a look at the that video when it comes out. Maybe I'll just do a small video for it. You know, I'm gonna do my 2 cents. I'll pie it in, you know, what we've got, and then when he brings up that video, maybe I'll do a really good reaction to it. And again, we'll go through it. But well, that's the video, guys. If you want to check it out, you know where to go. Cheers, Go Gaby. Check him out, the big boy. 19 minutes long. We went through it, obviously reacted to it, give you my 2 cents. So you hopefully understand my take on it. So yeah, And the thing is, let me just turn on the music. So like, and then the thing is, like I say, I understand where he's coming from because I've been there. I've actually been there. You know, like this is one thing like people don't realize, and like some people in the world chat and like here, like they say such stupid stuff and they don't know the full story. They only got it through their lens, and obviously their lens is clouded because they don't have all the information. Because they're not an R4, or they're not in council, they're not in leadership. So like, I understand where he's coming from. Because like I say, it happened to us. And if there's anyone in server 4 watching, I don't care, you know, I'm as honest as they come. And I've said it to many people, the only reason I left server 4 was because the scummy moves that were happening. And they were scummy moves happening. Like, I had R4s, like different R4s, jumping in to my DM saying, be prepared to start recording and soon something's about to go down. What do you mean something's about to go down? Because we're supposed to be allies with the people that stuff's about to go down with. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's like, I was in council, I ran the council really well, I was in leadership of my alliance, as you guys know, in server 4. I was very respected in the server. All the other alliance leaders in the server respected me. And even to the point where I was unifying the server, UNT back in server 4 did not want to talk to PHX. I don't know if anyone knows this. They would refuse to talk to players that they just had beef with because of the toxic chats and stuff, right? And they blacklisted players, right? And because they blacklisted players, they wouldn't speak to them. But I stepped in and I got it all sorted. But you know what? I got kicked out. They didn't like the fact that I was willing to communicate to the other enemy and show them a screenshot all stating that the alliances, all the servers that are the top 5 alliances, all would agree in a unification if PHX, for example, stopped doing what they were doing. And guess what? They stopped doing what they're doing and they got unified. But it wasn't good enough that the way I did it to some of the other alliances, so I got forced out. That's like strike 1 why I left server 4. And then like I said, the shadiness to do with attacking TA and TM the next season that were happening, it was just strike 2. And then for strike 3, it was just a way, in my opinion, I felt like my alliance lost its way. I don't know why, but I passed my alliance off to Ninja. Ninja doesn't even play the game anymore. He passed it off to someone else because he felt the exact same. After so long, he felt the same. And I have messages speaking to him about it. And it's like, if you have a vision of your alliance and then you pass it on to someone, and then you see that vision just getting destroyed, why would you stay there and associate yourself? Because like, anyone knows, if you've been in any of my projects, you've been in my alliance, especially in like Age of Titans, the way I play this game, especially in leadership, I don't start wars, I finish them. That is my motto. I never start wars, I finish them. And that's either through diplomatic talks or I'll out strategically fight you on the open field with all of my alliances that we've got working together, right? And people know that. And they've experienced that, so they know where I'm coming from when I'm saying stuff like this is like a big issue. So I know where Chisco's coming from in server 32 because I've experienced it. And that's why when he said, I have to choose my friends or morality, do you know what? I kept with my morality. I did not choose those friends. Do you know why? Because I felt like those friends were not friends no longer. If you have the ability to try and snake some sort of backstage thing, what? Like, none of my officers back in those days, I ever told them to do stuff like that. None of them. All of them held respect. Nowadays, I don't know. Because they're in different leadership, they're in different stuff. You know? I see some of them every so often talk in chat, and it's like, cool. But even then, It's just one of them things where I've experienced it, and I made my choice. And in my eyes, the guys like Chisgo and that alliance needs to make their choice and get out of 732. That's just as simple as that. Just get out. And if those guys chase you, they can't. That's the funny thing, because you'd migrate out to a server, and it has a server power cap. So even if they were trying to join and kill you, they can't, because they'd hit the server cap before you would. You'd have all of your 200, 400 members, and they don't have 100. So that's what I think on everything. And that was a little bit of a rant as well, like, as you guys know, like my personal experience with this sort of stuff. But since then, no way. And it's like, I don't even know. It's just crazy to feel like that type of, betrayal occurred because of a simple all chat. So yeah. Hey Sneaky, what's the new game? Oh, I hadn't mentioned it, I know. I do apologise. We have been, as you can see, reacting to content we did the podcast earlier. So you can check that out. But the new game, honestly, is something in the past. When I say in the past, it's something that will bring nostalgia to players. I don't know why, well, I know why the comment section is the way it's saying, but for us mobile gamers, I think this is going to be something that you're going to enjoy. I will show you the trailer for it. So, this is up above, is the new game trailer, as you can see the title. And it's Command and Conquer. Who played Commander and Conquer Red Alert? I'm just saying, I spent too much time on that game. So, the fact that they're making a Commander and Conquer mobile game is sick. I know there's a mobile game already out, but this is going to be a city builder game. And the reason I know this is because I've got the open beta on my phone. And the only way you can get the open beta so far, as I know, is if you use a VPN and download it from a different country. Because it's not available, I think, in Europe at the moment, but it is for the, Asian community, like Indonesia, Philippines, Korea, stuff like that, so they can test it. So yeah. This is going to be it. I'm going to pause the music. I'm just going to let the trailer speak for itself. And afterwards, I'm going to play it. We've got it. We've got it installed. I got a little heads up from Shin, as you can imagine. So, me and Shinji are in the same alliance. There was no sound. My bad. Yeah, me and Shinji are in the same alliance already in Server 4. And Solid Dusk, we're all in. So, this might be something where all three of us might play together, Who knows? Who knows? And the thing is with this game, it's all going to be, is it better than Rise of Kingdoms and Call of Dragons? Because that's the one benchmark everyone has to beat. That's all I'm saying. And this is made by EA. I can tell you some bits about it, but I'll let the gameplay do that talking when we get to it. So yeah.
very noteworthy individual in the Diablo community has made a video about Diablo 4. Video title,
So,
Is Diablo 4 Good Now?
No, Asmongold. This is my autoplay. You can tell. You can tell I'm a gamer if I got a bit of Asmongold there. Like, you can see all of my stuff. Bit of League. We like a little bit of League here, chat. We like a little bit of Jinxie. If you've been watching Jinxie, you know. So, also Tencent. Yeah. So, honestly, it could be a really good game. I'm just saying. And that's Commander and Conquer. If you want, I could boot it up now. The only reason I'm saying that is, I'm not going to lie, chat. In Call of Dragons right now, we're not doing much. We are, as you can see, sending our horses here. They're going kind of crazy, as you can imagine. Because their alliance, I'm guessing their alliance resource center finished, so all of them are killing all the resource guys. Which is funny to see. So, but that's the only thing that's going on, you know. But we have this now, look. We own this, by the way. So, we are pushing through. Maybe I keep playing a little bit later. But we are pushing through here. So, we are pushing these guys out of Ravona now. And then pushing them back into their starting zone, I believe. Oh, my bad, chat. There you go. Yeah, we hit this. So we've got this now. So we've come through. So now we've got to go through all of here. And then, as you can see, here was the resource center. And then Cabs have destroyed it. So honestly, we're not doing too much right now. It might look it here. But I can guarantee you, this is nothing. It'll be killing this behemoth and then destroying this and destroying this. And I don't think you guys want to watch, you know, Ordo slapping his hammer against the flag for another 2 hours, right? So, give me a second. What I'm going to do is get on my phone here. I'm going to open up a quick app. And I'm going to get another app open on my PC. And then afterwards, I'll show you this new game. And once we've done this new game for a bit, we will end stream basically. So let me put this like this. I will just let you guys know, because this isn't on the PC client right now, I am using a weird screen capture like way of getting the gameplay on. So, just to show that, window capture, seeing the sea, I'll call it, because that's what it is. Call of Dragons, let's view, no. So, this is it. For some reason, though, let me crop that top off. It might be one of them where it has to be like this for now, chat, until the proper game comes out. You get what I'm saying? Edit transform. Let me just take like 100 off the top. Maybe not. 60. 30. Ooh, Jesus. 30. 40. There we go. Right, so this is it. This is that Commander and Conquer game. So, I'm a bit on the phone, as you guys can see, and then we're good. So, like I said, it hopefully is clear for you guys. But this is it. This is the Commander and Conquer game. And like I said, it's very, very, as you can imagine, similar to City Builder games. Up here, I think it's Solid Dusk. Yeah, and then up here is our boy, Shinji. Yo. And he's made a video about the game, which is pretty sick. But yeah, this is the, like, yeah, I've only just started, literally this morning, I installed it and got to here. So you can see I'm level 4, early game, right? But you've got, like, your normal troops, which you can see. And then you got your little recon drone, which is your scout. The game also, and this is why I'm saying to you guys, you need to pay attention to this game, is because you can see if I march, form, and dispatch, it is the same as Call of Dragons and all the other games, meaning it's open combat. So you can see, like, I can actually move this instantaneously. It can go anywhere I want it to go. You know, if I want to go on here and farm and pull off, you can do that. So it's interesting that they've got the open field mechanics that everyone likes. So that just showcases that little basics there. But we've got, you can see, our main city hall. That's like called the construction yard in Commander and Conquer. And then you've got stuff like this. There's your barracks, your hospital, and stuff like that. I'm not going to lie, chat, if you're going to ask me how healing works, if you're going to ask me how stuff like that work, I personally don't know yet. Because I haven't... You're watching this as much as I've played it. I've hit level 6 and come off to do the podcast, do the live stream, and get on, you know, today. So, I hope that makes sense. You can see here, we're claiming whatever we're claiming. I'm a Diplo, nice. Shin. So we can start building. You can see we've got economic buildings. Here's the oil rigs, rare earth mill, tech center. Let's just get them all out. Silo, and then the alliance center, which is important. Arms dealer. Look how much is coming out already. Oh, is it showing me my VIP? Yeah. So it's like you can get VIP level, you can claim it, nice. Claim. So it has everything you can imagine. I think if you've played any of these games, you're gonna feel like this is actually like home. This is, if you're wondering, Commander and Conquer. This is Commander and Conquer Legions is the game. You can look up it on your iOS or Android store. It might not be allowed, you might not be able to download it right now, but you can pre-register, I promise you. And if you pre-register, you might get lucky and they just send you the invitation to download it early, and you can be playing it as early as we are, right? But if we look in the officers, this is the thing I was going to kind of show. This is the officers, this is how the game is. This is like your heroes that you pick from. You've got your main skills here, so you can see what these guys do. So the active skill, she has a 1,000 rage cost there. She increases infantry health by 10%, tank defense by 10%, and artillery attack by 10% for nearby friendly troops. The effect lasts for 2 seconds and grants an additional 15 rage per second. So you can see it's nuts. And when you upgrade her, you can see that's what you're upgrading, right? This is a passive skill. You can see what the passive skill does, and again you can see each of the upgrades nicely. So it's a really good way of just showcasing what these guys do. So you can see, similar to anything, you know, you have passives and actives, right? And then you got your pre-expertise. Let me put some music on just because I'm not gonna lie, not hearing music in the background when I'm streaming chat is a bit weird. I don't know about you guys. But I hope that's not too loud. Let me just put it like that. But yeah, and then you got like your pre-expertise and expertise. You upgrade it, as you can imagine, by just putting your boosters or sculptures into those heroes. But when you look at it, you've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Because I think this guy is one, potentially. But I think there's 11 or 12 legendary heroes or commanders or officers, should I say, in this game, which is kind of cool. And a lot of them, I'm just saying, if you love Commander and Conquer from back in the day, this is gonna, honestly, I think, fill your nostalgia. Honestly. Like, it's everything you kind of want. It's Commander and Conquer, but city building. You know, so if you want that strategic and that element and the, you know, the Tiberian Wars feel and stuff like that, guess what? they've done it. And like I said, this is made by EA, and I think someone said 10 cents too, which is just really good. You can see this is the... I didn't even look at anything like this, you know. First recharge pack, you know, self deals here, self-select bundles, so you can choose what we want. Trail path, no clue what that is. It looks like you're receiving this once purchased. Rise of the Tiberian. Construction bundle, so permanently unlock second construction queue, which everyone knows. I'm guessing that's $5 because that's 55 Filipino. I don't know what the Filipino currency is. I do apologize. I think it's like Filipino peso or something like that. I don't know, but I'm guessing that's why it says 55. So it's about $5, I'm guessing, for that. Then you got your special deals, which is pretty sick. It's literally, you can imagine if you've played these style of games, Rise of Kingdoms or, you know, Call of Dragons, you're going to feel right at home. This is the Commander Showdown coming soon, so basically Strongest Lord. You got Cabal Showdown, which sounds cool. I don't know what this is. I'll say start. Let's just do it. Send it. Challenge. So this is basically already your Korok or the Crucible. So the Crucible of Courage is already in the game. I'm probably gonna die, yeah, because I ain't got any troops out, so let's not do that right now. Tech Guru, so raising tech power. Military one, obtain a coupon. Let me see what this does. Can claim. Gather. Spend action points. So you can see it actually has quite a lot of stuff in already, you know. So this might be just a game you guys might want to check out. I'm not saying it's gonna be one that I might spend a lot in or play a lot, but it's up there. It's up there, and I'm gonna make a video on it, and maybe it is. Who knows? Maybe it grabs a load of attention, and you guys like the look of it. But we are gonna just play it for a little bit now. What I'm gonna do basically is just build. So I'm gonna just follow through. If I was a new player like you guys, what I would be doing, I'd literally be doing, as you can see, just build everything in at first, and then we can sort out where everything looks after, which is great. We can click on our missions. We've clicked on the missions, so let's start killing our things. So you can see here we've got different units, and we can use different units together. Look, right? But we'll soon see. We'll soon see if it's better just to run like infantry or riflemen for a march, or is it good to do stuff like this, you know? So you can see though, when we zoom in, we've got our guy. You can see the infantry shooter. You can see the tank shooter. And I know you can't really see it. I do apologize. Let me zoom out a bit. But you can see a little mech too. I don't know if you saw that, but you can see a little mech. And that's it, you know? So it'd be cool if you want mechs and flying stuff and like tanks and shooting, like Warpath, but with Rise of Kingdoms combat. Well, this might be it. This is what the talent trees look like. This is very, very reminiscent of Rise of Kingdoms 2, as you guys probably know. So let me go back. If you guys want me to check anything out, I will try and find it. By the way, just to let you guys know, we will try and look for it. But if you're asking some like, you know, in-depth questions, I don't know. But healing is the good one. Let me look at how healing works. Healing capacity. So you get 1% troop health at max. So you got severely damaged unit and harvest a service unit. So when troops battle against cyborgs or Cabal research labs, only very few will severely be damaged. All severely damaged will be sent to the hospital. When troops battle against other commanders or compete over resource deposits on the world map, all severely damaged units will be sent to the hospital. When troops are defending on their own base, they'll be sent to the hospital. when ships are defending against attacks of enemy commanders in ally bases and stuff as well. This looks more like Rise of Kingdoms healing, yeah? So if imagine you're playing Rise of Kingdoms, there's no free healing in this game. That's what it looks like right now. I just want to make sure I'm on the right page here. One sec, chat. Boom. So yeah. And then like here is our recon again. So let's send him out. Recon away. Hospital, artillery. So we can train some Wolverines. You can see these go all the way up to T5, and when you're upgrading them, obviously they haven't got these mech done yet, but if you look at the icon is different, yeah? So that's why you can see how these are upgrading over time, yeah? So that's like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, but the models, what you can see here is the tier 3 models still, so they haven't implemented the tier 4, tier 5 ones in, but you can go up to tier 5 units, which is a good sign, right? So you guys, again, should be almost at home when playing this sort of game. Construction yard, upgrade, boom. Hit the alliance help button, as you guys would. Takes an hour to do that, which ain't too bad. In our event, we've done... Ooh, so we can exchange the military lab, and we can get some Nagi dossier, which is basically some sculptures for that hero, or a grade 1 epic merit, which basically is a pull, or a silver chip. Because if we go here, you can see where the chests are. So we can open, and we'll try and open some. And if you notice at the bottom, you only can open 2,000 chests a day. I don't know who would open 2,000 chests a day, but if you do, guess what? That would be a video maxing out the daily chest opening. But there we go, look, nice and easy. I'm just gonna just open these, just so you guys can get a feel. In the alliance, we hit help. Shinchi. Alliance Tech, what's he doing? Brotherhood, that's good. So you can see, you know, you've got, if you play this style of games, this is gonna be at home. That's what I wanted to show you. You know what I mean? Like, this is the new game, and it has potential. You know, I mean, you know, there's me, Mr. Sneaker. We haven't really done anything crazy. I need level 8 construction yard, so let's do that. But when we look at world chat, you know, look, I can type, look, hope you guys enjoy. New here too. Can I not write them all? What CNC brings? There we go. Boom. Boom. There we go. Love it. But yeah, this is, like I said, gonna be something that I'm gonna make a video on. I've got another game. I've got this just to show you guys as well. Let me... Which is Era of Conquest. This is going to be on my second channel though. I am going to make one video for this game, guys, for my main channel, but I'm going to make more content for this game on the second channel, I think, because they've asked me to do it as a sponsor. And obviously with sponsors, that's how I get paid, unfortunately. I'd say unfortunately, but that's the way I have to get paid, you know, at the moment. But this is another new game coming. Era of Conquest. This game is being shown, or has a global spokesperson of Daniel Cumberbatch. Benedict. Benedict Cumberbatch, I say. You know, guys know Benedict Cumberbatch, aka Doctor Strange. This game is a little bit more different compared to the others, I will say. Just because of the way it works, you can see that this is like my town. I've got all my buildings that are upgrading. And here is like the extension. And like it kind of does a lot of an extension. This is all what I own, by the way. But when you press the world map in the bottom corner and then let it zoom out, now we're in like our region area. And the cool thing is you can see how this is northeastern Lionfang, right? So in northeast Lionfang is like where you go for like, let's say like that's like the Alliance almost. It's kind of like all the Alliance. And you see how we've got all these cities in here? Basically what can happen is the top 50 governors in this area, all of you can basically go and become, you know, head of state almost, like the head of the area. And if you become head of area, what it allows you to do is like, you know, like control certain aspects of it, which is really interesting. But it's a diplomatic vote system. So you have to vote for who you want to be leader, which is really, really interesting for it, you know. Am I a full-time content creator now? I've been a full-time content creator since March. I've been full-time content creating for Call of Dragons since then. But like now, I'm like trying to dive into more stuff, right? I'm trying to figure out ways of making more money so I can actually do this more as a full-time job. Otherwise, maybe in 6 months or a year, if it doesn't grow enough that I need it to, maybe I have to go back to part-time work. Who knows? But at the moment, I'm making enough that I can get by and I'm happy, right? I'm not greedy. I'm not a greedy person. I don't need too much to get by in life, honestly. So, also you can see here in the pioneering area, you can click these little red things, you get some extra goodies. The summoning in this game is a little bit strange, I'll tell you now. Just because you are in this game summoning heroes, as you can see, but you summon abilities. Is that alright? Does that make sense? So, as you can see here, this is Richard I. Everyone knows Richard I in history. He has Hear Me Roar. So this is what, like, you know, the damage of it, of his ability looks like. But you can see I've got an unlocked slot. And what I can do is click on this unlocked slot and you see all of these. These are abilities I own. And I can select any of these. So I can build, technically, my hero however I want. And you can go onto the little guide area. You can see here the recommended skills. You can see either the heroes. You can see just so much information that you could get access to, right? So it is really cool that, you know, that is part of the game. I will show you combat. Honestly, combat is what you would imagine. It's the same as, again, Call of Dragons and Rise of Kingdoms. The only thing you need to know, which is a little bit different in this game, as you can see here now, I've got Richard, I've got this guy, and I've got an empty slot. Why have I got an empty slot, you're probably wondering? It's because when you look at these commanders, your commanders have a leadership level, right? They have a leadership level. And this level is basically a number between 1 to something. Maybe a 1 to 10. And your leadership level dictates how many commanders you can put in. So, for example, at the moment, I don't know if it's just because I've only just started and I need to level up my city hall. But when I get enough leadership, I could technically have, at the moment, I've got 15. So I can have a leadership 10 hero, which is like what, my Richard is. And then I've got another leadership, which is like 5, which is what this guy is. I don't know what his name is yet. But if they were, for example, 5, I could have 3 different commanders all in one march, which is kind of crazy. Here as well, the way the game works with units, you have the 4 different units still, but all the heroes work with all the units. But it's all about effectiveness, right? So if you look here at the top right now, you see how King Richard has an S next to the cavalry? That means he's really good at cavalry, or if you see he's got the spear. So he's really good with infantry, or spearmen, should I say, right? But then A means, you know what, he's alright, he's okay at archers too. But B in infantry tank is not a good, he's like the last resort. So you can see here, what you have is commanders that have different values on how good they are with different sort of heroes or different marchers. And it means I could put this Boudica, which I started with, by the way, I could put Boudica with this guy, and it means I have a march here that has a SASS overall usage. So I can use it with anyone. As long as I have really good abilities, it's going to work. And I like that aspect that all the commanders have, you know, whatever I want. So if we go out, you have, you know, see these tiles? The tiles, you don't farm, you attack them. How sick is that? So it's a singular attack. I'm just going to singular attack it like a rally. So that's what it's going to look like right now, a rally. I'll zoom in. You can see how good this looks. I can zoom all the way to this view. I can zoom into this view. If I zoom in, you can see how the troops look on the field. After I kill this, I'll just do it now. Look, I can move my troops just like however I want, you know. But then I'll go through. No, this has open field fighting. Just because what I'm showing you now is just taking a tile. I'm literally taking a level 5 wood tile, but I kill the garrison. I actually fight it. And by fighting it, I take control of the people of that land, and it generates me like extra resources into my settlement. It's really weird. It's different. And when you zoom out, and this is why you might think it's like Rise of Kingdoms, but it's not. When you zoom out, this is where it starts to change. Because you can see, you know, like all of this is like the Alliance territory. But you can see how it's all hexagonal and it's all, let's just say like its own zone, you know? It has a lot of strategic stuff involved. You can even go to certain areas, which is like the relic zone and stuff, and do that. But like I say, if we go to this guy, he's probably, has he come home? Let me just make sure. Yeah, he's back home. So normally I've got my commanders going home and they, well, go attack and they come home. But yeah, it is Rise of Kingdoms. So if I zoom out, this is, like I said, you're safe in here. Imagine in this wall, you're safe. Yeah? Here, you can see now, look. See the supply wagon now coming in? So now, from this garrison, it's sending me the resource. I'm just saying it looks cool. It looks like a real game, like a real old school thing, yeah? Let me bring out my troops again. So if I march, let's get Boudica out. If I click, oh, I forgot how to do this. Oh, I know how. I need to click on this, and go to Boudica. Yarp. Oh, not? Oh, I know why, because I didn't dismiss him. Oh, he's in a thing here. So if I dismiss... Ooh, Scipio is supposed to be good. Let's just add Scipio, you know? But... I think this is where you see the leadership. Yeah. So on this menu now, can you see where it says the little castle icon? So you see this bit here? This is what I'm talking about. So depending on your leadership, so Frederick's a 7, Scipio's a 5, John's a 5, Elsid's a 4. So what I could in reality do, just to showcase this. Ooh. I am learning the games, I do apologize, and it is guys, this is like early development as well, so it's not fully finished, right? But let me just do this. Look, I could do this now. I hope I've got enough leadership to do it. Look, I'm almost there. Do you see what I'm saying? So I almost can have 3 commanders because they have different leadership levels. And it's all about that leadership cap. Right? So you can honestly do some crazy stuff in this game. But it's all down to the commanders you bring. We'll bring Scipio. It wants me to bring Scipio. And then auto-assign its troops. And like I said, we can choose if we want to be any of these types of troops only. Like choose arms. That's what this is doing. So when I choose arms, I'm choosing, you know, the type of march it wants to be. So let's just say I want to be a spearman march. There we go. It's spearman. Auto-assign. And that's made now, by the way. So anytime I click that portrait, that's it. So if I just go now, march, it's there. You see what I'm saying? So on the second icon here, when I unlock it, I'll have 2 marches, like 2 presets. You know? Did I hear you say that inventory in this game are bad stuff? No. I'm saying like in this game, so I'll explain it again. But I just want to show, like, look, this is open field. If you want open field combat, it's there. Right? If we go to a relic zone, that's LOE. Cool. Or maybe the relic one's over, actually. Let me just go to here. Log in. Log in. There's an event on here, I must have gone, where you could kill these relic guys, which was really cool. Also, like, this type of stuff. This is like, you know, your campaign, but your campaign is basically set as well in your main city. So if we go back to the main city, so this is where you're home, right? So when you're home, your campaign is naturally this. You just kind of naturally do this, and by doing it, you complete the tapestry, and then, as you can see, the tapestry, it just gives you freebies. If you're wondering how many factions are in the game, I know you are. I know you are. Guess what? Let me do that. Let me find where I can do that. I know you can. Mr. Sneaky faction change. There we go. So these are the factions in the game. And like I said, there's a lot of factions, guys. There's Arabia, China, France, Roma, Japan, Japan, Britain, Germany, Korea, and Russia. And then there's this one at the bottom. There's one more. You guys can't see it. If I go like that, no. What if I do? I know. See it? Little question mark. So there's another one. And the thing in this game, the different civilizations obviously chooses, as you can see, the different hero. Right? But you get resources. So it changes the different types of resources that you're really good at producing. So you can see, you know, that's all it is. You don't get any PvP buffs. It's all about resource production. So that kind of makes it fair, or makes it so what resource do you want to play over, I want to play Roman because they have the best infantry buff. You get what I'm saying? So it removes that kind of bit out. Here's King's Settlement. Principality War, Black Crow, Raid. There's just so much. But I am learning the game new. I'm going to make a video, like I say, on it. And then, well, make a few videos on it, shall we say. And then we'll go through, you know. Another thing which is a bit, maybe a bit different for players. Let me just activate this. As you can see, my guy is exploring, right? The building. That's what I wanted to show you. Because the way the building works, it might throw some people off, but I think it makes things a lot easier for you as well. So there we go, tapestry complete, boom, nice and easy. Claim those rewards. Guess what? Go summon. It's up at 5. Up at 5. So we'll see what we got. There we go. First time we got Bay Bars. I got Esper Zantania Flamethrower during the summoning too. So you'll see I got a legendary hero and I got an S-class now legendary ability. And this ability I could slap on anyone. That's what's cool. You know? You see what I'm saying with this game? It's a little bit different. This is what's different about it. I build my hero how I want to build him. You know? So now if I go to the heroes, where's Bay Bars? You see he's got one spell unlocked. That's because I can go on here and I can choose what skills I should put on him. Does that make sense now? And then when I was saying about infantry being bad, I wasn't talking about the infantry unit being bad. I'm talking about heroes. So when you look at the heroes just there, you can see the level, you can see the XP, and then you can see the S, B, A, and S. And that's just an overall guide and an overall rating so you know how effective this commander is, or this hero is, with those units. Does that make sense? So Frederick's really good with cavalry and spearmen, and he's okay, or he's good with archers, but he's not good with infantry. But then you look at someone like El Cid. El Cid is okay or good with all of them, but he's really good with archers. You get my point now? And what you want to do is make a hero pairing, as you can see. Same with this one. I can like hit apply and create different pairings that suit each other. You know, that both have S classes, or if someone has a really bad infantry, you find a hero with a really good infantry. So no matter what, it's a versatile based combat. So I'm gonna, like I say, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've played it for a little while. I'm still learning the game, but I am gonna make my own little, you know, bits on it. You've got little quizzes you can do. You have all the events you can do. You can imagine, you know, if I want to build, I can build too. Just to show you, once we get through all these claims that I've done, build the God of Strength. So this is how the build system works in this game. You can see it's just a tech tree, so you can't get lost. I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. So you can see this is how it works. So now I've got a God of Strength. This is gonna give me troop strength. All I do is hit build, and it's gonna build it. If the game wants to be if. There we go. It's because I was hitting, I think, this here. Let me just get rid of it. Right, this one. Also, do you know what this game does as well, which I like? Look at this. So depending on what you do through the day, it rates you. So if you're doing good resourcing, construction alliance, and the night owl merits, guess what? You're gonna get a ranking, and then at the every day you get a free claim here. And obviously it gets better the more you participate, which I find kind of interesting. And you can see now my construction's going up, right? See how it's now a B rating? Because I've completed that construction. You get what I'm saying? You've also got all of this, which is like armors. I don't know what this is yet. I've not gotten into it. There's treasury. Again, I don't know what this is. I haven't got to it yet properly. Religion. Artifacts is later. King's Scroll later. Military flag later. You see what I'm saying? So like, it's got a lot. It's got a lot. Eat log. This is era of conquest. So what I'll do, just to show you guys, because I know, like I said, I've got potentially another 2 new city building games that's trying to compete with Lilith. And Lilith need to step up their game if they want Call of Dragons and Rise of Kingdoms to remain the #1 games in this genre. I'm just saying. Because when you have marketing like this, you're gonna be like, what the hell? So let me just... bring my OBS up. So this is now going to the internet page again, as you guys love. So this is the... look, this is the initial trailer for it. Look, it launches on the 27th. It's not even that long. You know? So I'm making some videos for it now for my main channel and my second channel, just so you guys know. But if I pause the music, I turn this up. This is the trailer.
History is full of warrior heroes. The condor from the desert.
Yeah, I can show you the shop. I can tell you guys now, by the way, the whole reason this game as well has so much hype and a lot of people have been talking about it in this genre of games, right, is because it's selling itself to be one of the most free-to-play friendly games. Who knows how accurate that is? Who knows? But that is one of the main aspects of it, I will tell you guys. So let me just cut it back. Let's let Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch do his little thing. But like I said, this is the global spokesman for the game who's sponsoring and believes in this game. I'm just saying. The last person to do this was Ronda Rousey with, you know, like Shadow Raid Legends. Or Raid Shadow Legends, should I say.
The Saint. The Berserkers.
Just look how good it looks.
But no dynasty is eternal.
No, this is not the maker of Rock. This is a separate company. This is a company trying to legit compete against them. This is a new complete company. You got Hawaii App Gallery as well. You can download it. You might see this on my main channel or my second channel. I know you guys won't know of it yet. But if I type in Mr. Sneaky Gaming, there we go. You see? So this is my second channel. I'm just going to show you guys. As you can see, I have made a video on it myself. It's got like no views because obviously it's like brand new. Oh, it says it's got 13 views, which is kind of cool. But if you wanted to like check this out, come to this channel. I'm going to do more content for these other style of games on here. But obviously, as you guys know, you know, my main channel will have maybe a video or two for these guys, and if you guys try it out and you like that game, you might just jump to the second channel. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna be honest, because this main channel here is gonna be for just Call of Dragons. I'm gonna try and keep it as Call of Dragons related. I know I've got sponsored content on it at the minute, but you gotta think for myself, it's the only way I can get paid and keep doing this as a full-time job, right? So if I go back to the main stream now, almost every faction's the same, yeah, because it's based on history. Like I say, like I could say that with a lot of games. There's a lot of games that almost have the exact same amount of factions that are in. It's cool, but I like the fact that it sounds weird, but I've never seen Russia as a race, and I kind of like that. And you know what's cool? You can see like at the bottom here what the kind of city hall might look like when you go through the different ages as well. And I like how it does give you a preview of what your city and buildings look like before you go into it. It even shows you what you're going to get when you change. And then, like I said, all of the civs are only resource-based stuff. There's no stats. So you don't pick a civilization because of the stats of the units. You pick in the civilization because you like them and the resources, basically. Which is kind of cool. Kind of like that. So if we look at the Spenders store, this is the Spenders store. So for the Neds in chat, this is what you were looking for. Here we are. So you can get Leonidas already, King of Sparta. This is from your, I'm guessing, the first purchase. So whenever you get your first purchase, you're going to get Leonidas. These are your daily deals. It's $4.99. You might be wondering why is it so expensive. I know certain games have this amount again for their, I think Rock has this price. I think it's only Call of Dragons that has $2.49 at the moment, which is kind of ludicrous. But you get all of the stuff you can see here. I don't know how good these are, because obviously I have not played it enough to give you guys, you know, you need this, you need that. So I'm going to try and be as honest as I can with you, you know. But like the monthly cards you've got, level up gifts. So leveling up, you're going to get these naturally anyway. The sign-in rewards, you can see I can reclaim because I've missed these. Hit the 7-day bonus, got epic hero packs. Here is whatever this is. So first clear resources. No clue. It just gives you faster clearing, I'm guessing. I don't know. I honestly don't know what this does without doing it. Best partner, apply burn effect on continuous damage. So this is a way of getting skills, it looks like. And then conquest order is your season. So this season you would earn Tosain Loverancher, I want to say his name is. And go all the way through, and then gem shot. That's it. That's it. That's all you've got. That's all you've got, chat, to spend on. Like I say, you got the logging gifts here. I'm just trying to see if there was anything else there, but there just isn't. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say how pay to win heavy this game's gonna be or not. It doesn't look it. Honestly, I've just been chilling. This is the Civic Center. We've been upgrading. You can see here what we need to do to upgrade it again, so we can like build. You know what I'm saying, chat? It's easy. It's easy going. Same with this, like build. It's the second one, so it just puts it where you want to be. But like your whole city is huge. Like it's just huge because of. You've got all these little bits that you're doing throughout, and that's like your conquest, like, or your campaign. Do you get what I'm saying? And then you've got your main buildings. So, and like I say, it works for all of them: eco, military, special. It's all through a tech tree, so you can understand what you're doing. Here is I forgot where the tech building is. Hold on. Because I forgot how you upgrade your units. Because that's the barracks. And as you can see as well, the way barracks work is completely different. It's constant. Look. And I can press this button and I get 132 a minute. Look. Or I can close it and I get 44 a minute. So can you see like how I can accelerate how many troops I want to build over time by just implementing merits or, you know, resources by just flicking a switch. You see what I'm saying? And that's how you train troops. It's automatic. Look, that's it. You don't do anything else. We're done, chat. How easy is that? You know what I'm saying? And then you've got, like I said, these gods here are just buildings that give you buffs, you know? So it's interesting. And I like the fact that I'm just saying, like, there's new games on the market coming that might put Call of Dragons and Rise of Kingdoms out of business. I don't want to be the one who says it personally, because I honestly, I'm not going to lie, and you guys know, I love Call of Dragons. I legit love this game. I love Call of Dragons. Why? Because I love the behemoth raiding. It reminds me of playing like World of Warcraft. I love the open field combat. It's the smoothest that I've felt so far compared to any of the other games, right? Because they've had the most time to work on it. But like I said with the Age of Titans and that, there's going to be more of these cropping up. And each one that crop up has a milestone it's setting for the others. So I just wanted to show them off. I just wanted to show off on stream, guys, the differences, right? We'll jump back into the Call of a Dragon. Let me just max that out. So that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. I don't want to show too much of both games because I am going to make a video of it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted to give you guys a little sneaky glimpse. And if you wanted to download any of them or pre-register, Era of Conquest and Commander of Conquer Legions. They're the two games. And I'm like I say, I'm going to be making a video for them for the channel. The Era of Conquest one, honestly, to give you guys a little hint, wink, wink, is going to come out tomorrow. So it'll give you guys just a nice introduction again to the game, kind of what I've done here. And then as well with that video, if you check it out, honestly, and help me out, go to the second channel, because the second channel is where I want to try to do other stuff that's not just mobile gaming, you know. But we'll soon see. We'll soon see, chat. You know. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream so far, though. I know we've kind of done a lot. You know, we've done the podcast. We've been showing you what's been going on here. And like I said to you guys, it's not going to be anything exciting. It's just going to be us destroying buildings. And I don't want to say told you so, chat, but I told you so. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to bore you with this type of stuff. I want to entertain it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We've gone over the Chisco drama. We've gone over some of the Call of Dragons stuff. The only thing I haven't really shown a lot of the guys is we did capture the first legendary pet. So we have caught our very first legendary pet. It was the 21st pet that I caught, I want to say. And then I got it. It was a random pet. I never did 5 of one pet. I just kept writing just different pets, and I hit it. I'm just saying. It's got some good stats, and it's got 8 slots, but the fact that it didn't come with a talented skill made me really upset. So I am debating to Ripperino, Pepperino, and release this beautiful golden rock back into the wild, and maybe I'll recapture it, and maybe it goes legendary with a better thing, but we could get Tough Counter-Strike and Angry Raw, which are like the 2 skills we care about on this. So again, I'll be making a video on this as well. That's why I haven't released it yet. But yeah, we've been, like I said, chat, we are grinding. We are doing what we are doing. We're having fun. You can see we've got people just going to town. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you've been enjoying it. If I can, by the way, this weekend, I know it's Roots of War. Just to double check. And if it is Roots of War, and this looks different as well. Look how different this looks. They've updated the way this is, which is kind of cool. When you're looking for this Saturday, I'm gonna try and stream Roots of War. That's what I was gonna get to. I'll try. I know I missed it last time. I do apologize. We were really busy, and when I messaged TMO2 to join you know, Roots of War, they forgot to add me in and register me in. So it happens. It happens to the best of us. I'm not gonna I'm not going to betray anyone. I'm not going to go to the other side and figure out a way to get you guys in. Don't worry, this isn't 732. I'm joking. I'm joking, chat. I'm joking. But yeah, this week we should be able to get in, basically. So we'll have the Roots of War content back. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to end the stream there. It's been a nice 3-hour stream. I'm going to basically download the stream again. Just because I want to get that. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'll ask you guys before we end, right? Do you think I should just cut out that whole segment when I was talking about Server 32 and my opinion on it? Or should I actually just make a new video? You know, should I just make a new video that has, you know, what I talked about, and make it a little bit more condensed? Because I don't know. Because I did feel like I talked about everything that I needed to talk about in that reaction video to 732's drama, and I feel like I addressed it really fairly too. So it's up to you guys. I could like do it again, maybe better, who knows. We are joining a city rally though, I'm just saying. Mr. Kaibo-chan. We've got bare people rallying, so I need to pay attention so I can join these rallies and just get some free merits. You can see these guys here. So yeah, this is all that's happening. Nothing too much. I do apologise. What I'm going to do though, like I said, chat, I am going to end the stream tomorrow. I'm going to try and either stream at the normal time, as you guys know. So around this time now is about 2 p.m. my time. So I'm going to start the stream around 4 5 p.m, which is around 3 4 UTC. Well, 15 16 UTC, right? So it'll be back to normal time, and we'll try and get cooking. But if there's stuff cooking, you know, if stuff's going on, I'll just start the stream like today, because we had quite a lot to do. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for the guys supporting it. Thank you for any of the new subscribers, the guys that have hit the like button, the people that have watched the stream all the way throughout. I'm glad you have enjoyed it. And like I said, Saturday we'll have Scout Report episode 3 uploaded. If you've missed it, don't worry, it'll be on there. And then all the other content that's coming through this week. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support, guys. I'm gonna jump off and get ready to do some stuff since I've got family. I need to pick up the little kid and that. And then maybe, who knows, maybe I'll stream again later on. I don't know. But until then, I'll catch you guys later. And you know the motto, stay safe, stay sneaky, and peace out, my friends.